Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Mic check 1 2 3 4. Stand by. Yeah, I'm here at Dewey Street in Tennessee. That's right there, the McDonald's across from FSU's campus here. And you can still see it's very active here. You have State Highway Patrol kind of manning the intersection right here. The Tallahassee Fire Department is here as well. We've also been seeing some students walking away from campus right now. Everyone I talk to say they're okay. They're a little shaken up right now. And they heard the SWAT come in and felt safe enough to leave, so they're getting away from campus. Their police are kind of making sure that they're okay as well as they're leaving campus. But FSU is still advising people on campus to shelter in place until they give the all clear, which has not happened yet. I did talk to a student at Tallahassee State Community College. Her roommate goes to FSU, and her roommate is in her classroom right now. And she says that she feels safe. They don't know what's going on. But again, that's the question that a lot of people are asking right now, just trying to figure out what exactly happened here on campus that demanded such a large police presence. And like I said, we've seen ambulance lights and sirens heading towards the hospital here. So we do know that there are victims. We just don't know the total victims yet, or if the shooter's one of them, or any of that right now. So we're working on getting those answers for you, and we'll have them as soon as we can. Back to you. I get some static.
TV.tv.
That's right. And we first got the alert, I think it was at about 12:01 today. It was an FSU alert. Dangerous situation, active shooter reported in the area of the student union. So that was that first information. And we're going to show you now the latest alert from FSU. We're going to put that there on your screen. Continue to shelter in place. Police have responded to an active shooter call at the student union. Stay alert for more information. So people are staying put. Again, we've had some text from people saying that they are locked in rooms.
Yes.
They feel safe. They're waiting for alerts from FSU right now. So this is still an active situation.
We did speak with a witness who called us here in our newsroom earlier when all of this was going on. And this witness described seeing one person. They said it was a college-aged male coming out of the student union with a handgun. So that's pretty much all we have so far, but that was according to a witness that we spoke to a little earlier. So again, that was around noon when that alert came out, and things seemed to get very busy at that time. And we were able to get this news out, and we're following it. We have several crews out there still monitoring the situation, and we're still communicating with authorities, several different law enforcement agencies out there, even the Tallahassee Fire Department, Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, all out there along with our law enforcement agencies.
And we are taking a live look right now at Dewey in Tennessee, I believe there. Our Cody Butler is there, Jacob Murphy at Woodward in Tennessee, and they are getting the latest updated information on this active shooter situation on FSU's campus for us. They continue to update us. There's a very, very heavy police presence there right now. They're urging people to stay away from that area. Do not try to drive even near there, because there is just so much that is happening right now.
Yes, a lot happening right now. This is Jacob, where he is now. Our Jacob Murphy is at Tennessee and Woodward. So as you can see, plenty of law enforcement cars just lining both sides of the street there on Tennessee Street. And we're told even other things may be happening right now. Not sure if this is confirmed, but it's very active. They believe something else is happening.
Yes, I just got another text from somebody who is still sheltering in place there at FSU and is saying that some of these colleagues in the neighboring departments are now being escorted by SWAT teams out of the buildings.
Wow.
So he is still sheltering in place, but some of his colleagues are being escorted out by what he thinks are SWAT.
Yes, and you see 2 students were just walking down the street casually there. And this is the live view from Dewey and Tennessee Street. You can see FDLE, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, is on the scene along with the police from Tallahassee Police Department, the crime unit there. A lot still going on. Again, this is the intersection of Dewey and Tennessee Streets near the McDonald's that's across from campus. A lot of people are familiar with that area.
Okay, and FSU has just sent, according to this person who's texting me, sheltering in place, FSU sent a new update. If the police come in, they'll use the safe word to indicate that it's safe to open the doors. Now,
How the hell you ain't see me and I
they
beat you?
have a safe word, and
I saw you when it first came on. You been back there. I know.
People there on campus.
It is nice to hear.
So why you ain't let me up then? What's going on? You
I
acting
wasn't
funny?
up either. I don't think that he heard what I just said. I wasn't even up
are a
either.
little relaxed right now, so that's good that they're
This
staying
is real
relaxed,
time,
staying being
Thornberry. If you
careful
didn't hear me, sweetie.
and trying.
This happening at Florida State
People are
University
asked
right
to
now.
shelter in place or stay away from that area. Many of the streets are blocked off around campus. The forensics unit, several of those agencies, they're driving off right now. No word on if they're relocating or leaving the scene, but as of now, we are told the scene is still active. So they may just be relocating at this time.
And we are waiting to hear any updates.
Okay, Ebro, I had me and Trey backstage. Listen, girl, I've been so busy. Y'all see I'm late. But yeah, y'all, this is at Florida State University, an active shooter. This is happening in real time.
Today. Last reported 4 victims at TMH, but there could be more at this time.
Yes, TMH has confirmed that they are treating victims who are related to this situation.
And we're going to show you now where it is happening there. There is the student union, and there's Woodward Avenue in Tennessee. This happened at the student union today. We got an alert about it about 12:01. So that is where Jacob Murphy is right now at Tennessee and Woodward, where we saw that, massive law enforcement presence in these live shots that we're showing you. And that is the student union in relation to that intersection where this happened this afternoon.
That's right. And a witness did tell us they saw someone walking out of that building, the student union building at the time. And they described the person as being a college-age man and said that they had a handgun at the time. So everyone, they tried to do their best to be safe, to get away. But we do know that there have been some victims. No word on their condition or what's happening. But initially, we were told 4 people were taken to TMH. And our reporter, Cody Butler, on scene said he saw 2 ambulances leave with the sirens and the active lights at that time. So it appeared that those could be additional victims going to the hospital at that time.
That's right. We're going to check back in with Jacob Murphy, who is at Woodward in Tennessee, and see the latest update about what is happening there, Jacob.
Yeah, Ava, a similar scene from just a few minutes ago when I was last with you. Lots of law enforcement of almost every agency in North Florida, seemingly right here. FHP, TPD, Leon County Sheriff's Office, and I will say most recently, a large line of Florida Wildlife Commission, FWC police showed up in their pickup trucks in tactical gear, it looked like. And I will say it's still what I would call a stagnant scene, not a lot of commotion around here. There are some students trickling out of campus. I've talked to each one just asking, are you okay? And they say yes, they're just trying to get as far away from campus as they can. I will say we did talk to a few people at the bus stop across the street that were saying they were inside the student union. They were working for the catering service at campus, and they were inside as they heard what they thought were multiple gunshots. One woman told me she heard maybe 15, 20 gunshots and started running towards the street to get to the bus stop here. They didn't see any casualties. They didn't see much. But they also told me at least some of the students that were inside the student union made their way inside the co-cathedral of St. Thomas More across the street, and they were inside the sanctuary right now, just trying to calm down, I suppose. The pastor was with them, and that there was a group inside there. That's what one of the women who works at in the catering told me. So far, we haven't seen any ambulances from where we are. It's just law enforcement. And we haven't seen, again, any commotion, I would say. Now, they have blocked off every road, Woodward Avenue to the north, and then Tennessee Street east and west completely blocked. So again, if you're traveling on the west side of town, of course, stay far away. Now, we have seen a helicopter above us. It's still going above us. And as you've mentioned, we don't have any word about anyone being in custody, or at least we haven't received word from here on the ground. Right now, we're the only ones out here. We're going to keep close tabs. We've gotten a better vantage point. We're now on this side of Tennessee Street, so we can look farther down towards the student union. So we're going to keep a close eye on, there are some folks, law enforcement walking, and we do see crime scene tape up all around the student union. So we're going to keep a close eye on that and any other commotion that comes up. But for now, we're going to send it back to you guys in the studio.
I thank you, Jacob. Now, there was a shooting at FSU in 2014 in the Stroger Library. Now, in that shooting, 3 people were hurt and a gunman was killed.
Yes, that gunman was identified as 31-year-old Myron May, and he was killed on scene. That shooting happened around 12:30 in the morning, rather, say late at night. And Ava, I'll tell you, I remember that night well. That was November of 2014, and I was called out as a reporter to go to the scene, and very scary moments for so many people, you know, especially even though it was late at night, there were people inside of that library during the time. And so very scary, a lot going on. At least one person was critically injured in that shooting. So a lot of people still remember that night.
Yeah, and that was in 2014. Now, you know, Jacob's saying there's some students that were kind of walking, just trying to get as far away from campus as possible right now. One person who was an ear witness to it, 15 to 20 gunshots they reported hearing as I think they were waiting at the bus stop. Some students were taking shelter in a church nearby. Right. So, you know, he's kind of talking to people there who are, you know, were there at the moment and kind of ear witnesses to it and just trying to get away from it, you know. Indeed. Very, very scary situation there.
Indeed. And hopefully we can get some more information, especially on the shooter, to see who that is and what's going on, why this is happening, why this has happened. We have no idea if the person is in custody or are they still looking for them. And what's going on, but we're definitely working on it. Again, we have several different crews out there on the scene, and they're listening and talking to authorities, and even the authorities at the hospital. And the TMH has released a statement. And so they say TMH is actively receiving and caring for patients related to an incident that has occurred at Florida State University. At this time, details are still unfolding, and we do not yet have specific information to share. However, we want to assure the community that our teams are fully mobilized and prepared to provide the highest level of care and support to all those affected. So again, that's a statement from TMH on this shooting on FSU's campus. That alert coming out about the shooting at 12:01 today.
That's right. And we've got Cody Butler and Jacob Murphy there. Cody Butler is on Dewey in Tennessee, and Jacob is at Woodward and Tennessee. We are going to go to a live shot from Dewey in Tennessee right now, where Cody Butler is, and see what is going on there. We see students crossing there at that crosswalk, and you can see the heavy, you know, the police presence, the law enforcement presence there, and they are just trying to get, it looks like what they're trying to do is get these students away from campus right now. So we can see them exiting the campus, crossing the street, right there on Tennessee Street. And that's what, you know, Jacob had said, that the students are just trying to get as far away from campus as possible right now.
As they should, and as they've been instructed to do. And they look calm. That is a good thing about it. They're doing it calmly.
Yes.
I'm sure this is scary for so many people out there.
Yes.
Jacob did mention earlier, seeing some students, they had the frightened look on their face, but it doesn't seem, at least in these moments after everything happening, that they aren't frantic. No panic as far as people just running and going crazy. They are getting away safely, but they seem to be doing it calmly. And of course, plenty of law enforcement out there and people being escorted. So that's a good thing. They're getting away from that area. And as far as traffic is concerned, anyone driving, the streets have been blocked off for some time shortly after all of this happened. So, of course, if you're not in that area, you are urged to please stay away. And then those who are already there, they are being calmly escorted away from that area.
Exactly. And Leon County Schools, we have an update here. The update says that we understand the feeling you have. This is for parents to immediately.
Good morning, everybody. Come on in, hit that like button. We're gonna start the show soon. I just wanted to inform y'all about what's going on. Thank you so much, Amazing. I appreciate you, sis.
And at this time, high schools are still planning to.
Y'all please hit the like button. Y'all, this is happening in real time.
Right.
This is another school shooting at Florida State University. It's happening right now. Thank you, Detroit.
You're not allowed to come in. So, but you mentioned the statement does say they're doing regular dismissal.
Yes,
but
at
on
1:50.
lockout. Okay, 1:50.
High schools are planning to dismiss at 1:50 p.m. and the schools do remain on lockout at this time.
Yes, at this time. So parents, of course, stay updated, be aware of what's going on, but they're asking you to, please don't panic and just try to stay away until that dismissal time.
Yes, and we're awaiting information on what the latest is on the shooter.
That's correct.
Because, of course, at this time, we're not sure. And so everyone is extremely concerned. And it is still an active situation, but we're not sure if the shooter has, they have him in custody or not. So as soon as we get that information, of course, we will get that to you.
And it's understandable for people to be a little, scared at this moment.
Oh, yeah.
There are still plenty of questions that need to be answered, and we're definitely working on that for you, trying to get as much information as possible. And as you can see, we're back at our live pictures right there, our live video showing the area near Florida State's campus. Still very active, plenty of law enforcement on the scene. And you see some of these vehicles rolling out. So still a lot going on. They haven't said anything about the suspect, but very active. They've been working on getting people out of that area, and they may be relocating at the time, but this is Tennessee Street. So still plenty of law enforcement officers and several different agencies at that. So we know that there have at least been, FSU police, the Tallahassee police, FWC, FDLE. So several different agencies on the scene at this time.
Yes, I am getting some text from people, and it is not confirmed that they did see someone in shackles. So I do not know if that is the shooter that we're talking about, but I'm getting a few texts right now about that. So we will certainly update you as soon as any information.
See, that's what get me. That's what get me right there. Amazing said they said he was passed away. This lady talking about she seen somebody in shackles. Unless they got him in shackles, passed away, I don't know.
Giving us
This
the
is why
updates from the scene and
this
what's
stuff
going
be
on.
crazy to me.
Looks
But
like
let's
kind
listen.
of evacuating students from campus.
That's right. And our Stacey Inez is also, she'll be on the scene as well. So we have several different crews. We're trying to go in different areas so that we can make sure to find out as much as possible, as soon as possible. Now, FSU has sent out another alert, so we'll put that on the screen.
Oh, this is from TMH, right?
Oh, a TMH alert, yes. So this is their alert from about some time ago.
Yeah, they say they're actively, caring for patients right now, and that they are, just asking for people's kind of patience while they do the very best job, certainly that they can. We've got this FSU alert. It just continues to say, it just says continue to shelter in place. Police have responded to an active shooter call at the student union, and they're just asking people to stay alert for more information. Jacob Murphy, Cody Butler, they are on the scene right now. They are working to speak with people and get the latest information. So we're not going to go live to them for another little while, just as they can gather as much information for us as possible regarding this shooter situation.
Yes, now that alert that we have on screen right now, that was about 30 minutes ago. The university sent it out. So that is the latest alert that they've sent out. So they continue to follow this situation and just saying, stay alert. But, shelter in place. You
Yes.
want to stay safe, stay where you are, be inside, no need to be out, and definitely don't go to the area. But of course, be aware, stay alert. We will definitely pass along any new information we get. We have our crews out there, they're talking to people, getting the latest information, and we'll definitely pass it on as soon as we know.
And also, FSU did send an update to people who are on campus who are just saying continue to shelter in place. If the police come in, they will use a safe word to indicate that it is safe to open the doors, which obviously we won't repeat that safe word.
Right.
But, unless someone uses a safe word, do not open any doors.
That's right. Be vigilant, be aware, stay alert. Make sure you do have everything you need to have the latest information. We'll have those alerts going out. Of course, we have information posted on WCTV.tv for those of you who can't stay with us here on air. We have our news app that is always free. We have the QR, very easy to download. You can just take your phone out right now and download our WCTV News app. You get all the alerts right away, any information you need by scanning that code on your screen, or you can just go directly to our website, WCTV.tv. Again, it's free and easy to download.
It certainly is. All right, we've got Jacob Murphy. They are at FSU along with Cody Butler. They are getting any information they can at this point about the latest on this situation. Asking people to please stay away from that area. Again, it is heavy law enforcement presence. The streets are closed off, and it looked like the latest thing we saw is that the students are leaving campus right now so they can continue their investigation.
That's right. Classes are closed for the rest of the day. As far as victims are concerned, we have been told that there are at least 4. We confirmed those 4 victims. Earlier, as soon as this happened, around noon, we were told that 4 victims were taken to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. Our Cody Butler, who's out there on the scene, he noticed at least 2 ambulances in that area. He was on Dewey and Tennessee Street, so we're not sure, what's going on with that, but TMH did confirm at least 4. We do not know their condition. We do not know what happened to them, but they say they are caring for those victims. And TMH also assured the community that they are ready for anything that comes their way, that they can help anybody that needs help during this time.
That's right. And TMH does say at this time, the details are still unfolding. They do not have any specific information to share. All right, we are going to go back to Jacob Murphy. He is at Woodward and Tennessee, very close to the student union where this all happened. Let's take a listen.
It was terrible. Yes.
You were kind of spread out, getting different lunch
My daughter was waiting at the table. We were looking at the menu, and I couldn't believe it. Like, shots started. It was surreal, and people just started running. She got trampled over. We went through an exit door, ran down a hall, and all the doors were locked except one going up a flight of stairs to exit. And we didn't think that would be a good idea, but there was about 70 of us or 50 of us in that, and we were just like trapped, like
So when
felt
did you
trapped.
get out of the union?
We went in the service elevator. There's about 50 of us in the elevator, and we went upstairs. And that was probably the scariest point, because we didn't know, could get worse, right? The doors open, and 2 officers were there, guns drawn, yelled, "Did you see anything?" We're like, "No." "How do we get out?" They pointed that way, and just the adrenaline. We got outside, and just here we are. We ended up in a church across the street here. We've
What was
been
that
here
moment like when the 4 of you were here and you knew you were safe?
just like
Really
nothing you've ever felt before, or you could even explain. It's hard to explain. I mean, just we're just blessed. I mean, how we got out of there, I can't, you know, it's kind of surreal being at the church because God was watching over us. I mean, definitely we
Come on in, everybody. Thank y'all for joining. Hit the like button. We're gonna get started. I just wanted to stream this for a few minutes. This is happening in real time.
don't know much
For
right
those that don't know, this is an active shooter at Florida State University. Okay, we're gonna listen a little bit longer and then we're gonna get started.
We don't know.
Make sure y'all hit that
They're
like button. Feel
talking
free to
to a man
support
who
the channel.
got caught off. He was in the student union with his daughter, and when the shooting started, they tried to escape. The doors were locked. He said that everyone was rushing, and she was kind of trampled. They got into an elevator, and there's about 50 people in that elevator, and they were scared to death. And once the elevator doors did open, law enforcement was there, guns drawn, helped them get outside.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. And that does seem a tad bit reminiscent of the 2014 shooting on campus. We remember seeing so many videos of people being inside in Stroger Library. That's where that 2014 shooting happened. But you can see the people inside. All right. And we actually have some video of the student. Let's go ahead and take that video.
I just hope everyone's okay, praying for the people that are injured, and I just hope we can do better in the future.
Yeah, students, you know, this is extremely traumatic, and they're just trying to get these students off of campus. The students Jacob talked to earlier, all they want to do is just leave campus, you know, and let law enforcement do what they need to do in this situation. All right, if you are just tuning in now, this is what's going on. There has been, of course,
Thank you,
a very
D-True.
dangerous active shooter situation at FSU. 4 people are at TMH at least hospitalized. TMH is caring for them now. The school is on lockdown. Police are on the scene, a huge law enforcement presence. We've been talking to people who were there and experienced this tragic event this afternoon. So Jacob Murphy is at Woodward in Tennessee, talking to people now, trying to assess, you know, what's happened. We've got Cody Butler at Dewey in Tennessee doing the same thing, and we are bringing you the latest updates, live updates with the shooting situation at FSU.
Yes, FSU authorities, they are asking everyone to shelter in place, continue to stay where you are and be safe. Those who are leaving campus, they do have a lot of law enforcement officers in the area, and we saw some walking some people out. So far, it seems most people are staying calm. I'm sure in the moments, though, it was not a calm situation. We've heard from some witnesses who were inside of the student union when they say those shots started going out. One witness telling our reporters they heard multiple gunshots at the time, at least 15 to 20, one woman told one of our reporters. So a lot of chaos in the moment. We heard from the father who talked about he and his daughter, they ran for safety. A lot of people crowding around together. There were some frantic moments, but hopefully everyone is able to kind of take a breath right now and try to get their bearings and get to a safe place.
I did get another text from someone who is sheltering in place there on campus. He said, we are all just waiting here. We think it may take a while to leave. He said there is a building that everyone is being sent to at this moment. He does not know what building that is, but yeah, they're still sheltering in place. They're waiting for updates from FSU, and when the police do come to escort them out, there will be a safe word that they use. And so certainly everyone is just waiting for that.
Yes, and please, you know, for everyone, follow the instructions
Thank
from
God
the
for
authorities and law enforcement. keep everyone safe at this time. So, you know, if they're escorting people to certain areas, make sure you stay away from the areas they're asking you to stay away from, and try to do the best you can to stay safe. They want to keep their area safe because we have no idea about the suspect right now.
No.
We're still waiting on that information.
Nothing's been confirmed.
Nothing's been confirmed at this time. So we don't know who it is and if they're still out and about. So hopefully we can get some more information on that. We are working on it. We have several crews on the scene right now. The only thing that we've been told is from a witness who mentioned one person who did seem to be college age, and they said that person had a handgun at the time coming out of the student union.
And we, you know, some students and a father who were on campus at the time of the shooting said things like, you know, students who were in the student union at the time of the shooting told our reporters that they heard about 15 to 20 gunshots. They ran, they took shelter in a church that was across the street. You know, as we just heard, one father, his daughter, they were looking at the menu.
Hold on a minute, because I think Chef may be confused. Hold on, let me pause it. So Chef, this is happening in real time. You may be talking about the story we're gonna get in a little later, the high school shooting. This is actually happening right now at Florida State University. So I don't want anybody to confuse what I'm showing now with the story of the high school shooter in Dallas. This is in Florida. This is happening right now in at Florida State University, Chef.
Surreal. People just started running. His daughter was trampled over, and they just both tried to hide in the big rooms off of Long Hallway, but the doors were locked. So 50 people ran into a service elevator. When the doors opened, 2 officers with guns drawn escorted them to safety. So, you know, harrowing stories from what people have gone through this afternoon in the wake of the shooting.
Yeah, I'm sure that was quite the sight to see some safety, those law enforcement officers once they got out of that elevator. So especially after such scary moments, you know, you're running and everyone is crowded in that elevator. And then once the doors open, you at least see friendly faces, those law enforcement officers trying to take them to safety. And you know, and when Cody, that was Jacob rather, when Jacob was interviewing the father was visibly shaken. So this is the map of the area on FSU's campus. We're told all of this happened at the student union on campus. So as you can see, you know, the student union in the middle of campus there, not far from Woodward Avenue and Tennessee Street. And that's actually where we have one of our reporters, Cody Butler, that Jacob is in that area, Woodward in Tennessee, and then we have our Cody Butler at Dewey in Tennessee. So they're out there, they're searching for answers, talking to people, and we're trying to find out as much as we can at this time.
All right, we're getting some information that at Tallahassee Memorial Hospital that there are perhaps more than 4 there. I don't have an exact amount right now. So we're going to keep you updated on that.
Indeed, but TMH did put out that statement saying that they are ready,
yes,
and they are caring for victims that are related to this shooting. Again, the shooting happened around noon today. The FSU alert came out around 12:01 today, saying that there was an active shooter on campus. And so far, initially, we were told 4 victims were taken to the hospital. Those 4 were confirmed at the beginning, but we don't know if there are more victims at this time. We don't know the conditions of the victim, and we definitely don't know anything about the suspect. So that's one of the reasons why they want to make sure everyone stays safe.
Exactly.
It's still an active situation. They still ask you to shelter in place. The roads are blocked in that area, so stay away if you can.
And TMH says they are in close coordination with emergency responders and public safety officials out of respect for patient privacy and to ensure accurate information. They will provide updates as soon as they are available. So we will certainly wait for those. And as we do, Jacob Murphy on the scene at Woodward in Tennessee, you know, Cody Butler at Dewey in Tennessee right now, just talking to people there and trying to figure out what happened this afternoon. We're going to check in with Cody right now and see what information he has.
Ava, right now we are seeing Tallahassee putting up barricades right now here at Dewey in Tennessee. Turn up the audio, please. And so we are here seeing the barricades be put up so that the officers can leave this area, because right now it's just being blocked by police cars right now. State Highway Patrol is here, FDLE is here, Tallahassee Police is here, and we are also hearing from state leaders right now on social media. Governor Ron DeSantis posted on X that our prayers are with our FSU family and state law enforcement who is actively responding. House Speaker Daniel Perez posted on X that we're watching what's unfolding at FSU. It's terrifying and every parent's worst nightmare. We are continuing to monitoring the news here in Tallahassee and urge everyone to pray for the students, families, faculty, first responders, and all involved. And Speaker Perez is a graduate of FSU, and up in DC, Congressman Jimmy Patronis is also monitoring the situation. He says on X, has worked to learn more, again, offering prayers for first responders and those who are injured. Here at Dewey in Tennessee earlier, we did see ambulances leave the scene with lights and sirens indicating that there was a live patient inside. We don't know their conditions yet. We do know that TMH does have some victims here from the scene. We're still working to learn more. And again, this is a very active situation that is gaining attention across the state.
It appears to be some students standing right by him. You know, I wonder, have they said anything, and why are they standing around? Do you know, Cody?
Yeah, we've been seeing students here in this area. I might have to move because there's a lot of activity with vehicles going on right now. But yeah, we've seen students walking away from campus. We saw a whole group of students leave about 15 minutes or so ago. They're all calm. They tell me they feel safe. Some of them are shaken up a little. They've talked to friends who are on campus that are on lockdown. They are, again, feeling safe on campus, shaken up. So they're just on edge right now.
Well, thank you so much, Cody. It is nice to hear that, you know, they're trying to remain calm, the people out there.
Yes.
You know, because I'm sure it's a scary situation. And so you see some of them just kind of casually, you know, walking away. And so, but they do want people to still be careful, though. So, you know, and as he mentioned, there are still some on campus that are sheltered in place. And so those students on the outside, they're checking in with their friends and fellow friends and their roommates or whoever may be on campus. So, you know, that's good. Check on each other. You know, everyone needs to be updated, and we're definitely doing our best. We're told that we got some students out there.
Yeah, everyone calling family to assure them they're all right.
Yeah.
You know, everyone, I think, wondering right now exactly what happened this afternoon. And law enforcement there, everything right now looks like it is under control. People are calm. People are being escorted off campus calmly. And, you know, Cody said there are barricades that are being put up there at Dewey in Tennessee to keep people out. They want people to not go anywhere near that area, please, so they can continue to do this investigation. State leaders, they are, you know, monitoring the situation right now. And, you know, Cody did say that ambulances were leaving the scene earlier with their lights flashing, taking people to TMH. Our Allison Posey is there. We are going to go to her shortly. She is at TMH for us now.
Yeah, and apparently, and I think TMH also has a staging area out there. So they are doing, oh no, that staging area is near their hospital, but they're make sure they're prepared. And so, you know, and as we know, many people, especially those who have been in Tallahassee for a while, they remember that 2014 shooting, and that's it there. Seeing this video just really rocked a lot of people. You know, these students and faculty people were inside of the room. This is in Strozier Library on FSU's campus back in 2014. And boy, you know, just remember seeing so many videos like this and the police officers coming in and rescuing these students. And again, the scene from back then, oh, it was very crowded
There-
and very cold that night. I do remember that.
And weren't there, Lanisha, 3 people were hurt, and then the
Yes.
gunman was killed.
Yes, that gunman was 31-year-old Myron May. And we're not sure. I believe he was a former student, but as far as his motive, and that's his picture there, it was just so shocking to so many people. You know, of course, the big question of why. That's always one of the first things, you know, that's I'm sure was going through so many people's mind. Today, we don't know Myron May. He had you know, just so many people wondering what happened. This is video of the visual. I was out there at the time, that visual from the 2014 shooting. And, you know, the students, and that's one thing about these incidents, though, even though it's frightening, but those students coming together, everyone on campus, being there for one another and praying for one another and praying for those students. Thankfully, the shooting wasn't fatal in 2014, but still so many lives affected. 3 people were shot, at least 1 critically. So, you
And
know,
now here we are 11 years later,
11 years later.
and we are, you know, looking at another shooting there.
Mhm.
So we have, you know, Jacob Murphy is there. He's at Woodward and Tennessee Street, very close to the student union where it happened. We've got Cody Butler there. We just heard from him at Dewey in Tennessee saying that barricades are being put up there to keep people away and try to get to the bottom of what happened with this investigation. Certainly people are still, it's still an active situation. People are still sheltering in place, and you know, we're hearing from them, and they're patiently waiting for more alerts from FSU, which they have been given. And from what I have gotten from the text that I'm getting, they do feel safe, and they are waiting for, you know, police to come and give them that safe word so that they can be escorted off of campus right now. We're taking another live look right now, and you can see law enforcement. There are some students there. It looks like everyone is pretty calm, which is a good sign.
Yeah, that is a good sign there. And it is, it's nice to hear you say you're getting those texts from some people who say they feel safe. And that's a good thing. There are plenty of officers out there on the scene. And so they're doing their best to, I'm sure, work on, you have some that are dealing with the investigation, and others who I'm sure are just specifically there for the people and making sure the area is safe, making sure people are doing what they're supposed to do. So it is nice to hear they are safe, because we know there are several different agencies on the scene. That vest there says State Trooper. So the Florida Highway Patrol out there, even FWC, we saw SWAT members from them out there on the scene, the fire department, so many others. So the scene is very active at this time still. So they just want to make sure everyone is safe and stay away if you can. Those roads are still blocked.
Jacob Murphy, who is on scene now, did speak to a father who was with, I believe, his daughter in the student union when the shooting happened. So let's hear from him.
It's here with my twins to get a tour to campus and business. We were at the business school. We had just finished up, unbelievable tour. It was just a great day, and we had another tour scheduled at 1 o'clock, and we went inside the union to get lunch, and we went downstairs, and shots started ringing out, and it was terrible. Yes.
You were kind of spread out, getting different lunch
My
items.
daughter was waiting at the table. We were looking at the menu, and I couldn't believe it. Like, shots started, it was surreal, and people just started running. She got trampled over. We went through an exit door, ran down a hall, and all the doors were locked except one going up a flight of stairs to exit. And we didn't think that would be a good idea, but we were all, there was about 70 of us or 50 of us in that, and we were just like trapped, like
So when
felt
did you
trapped.
get out of the union?
We went in the service elevator. There's about 50 of us in the elevator, and we went upstairs. And that was probably the scariest point, because we didn't know, you know, could get worse, right? The doors open, and 2 officers were there, guns drawn, yelled, "Did you see anything?" We're like, "No." "How do we get out?" They pointed that way, and just the adrenaline. We got outside, and just here we are. We ended up in a church across the street here.
What was that moment like when the 4 of you were here and you knew you were safe?
Just like
Really?
nothing you've ever felt before, or you could even explain. It's hard to explain. I mean, we're just blessed. I mean, how we got out of there, I can't, it's kind of surreal being at the church because God was watching over us. I mean, definitely we could have went really bad. I hope all the people pray for their families and that they're okay. We don't know much right now, but
Absolutely terrifying. A father with his 2 children going to tour the campus, and this happens. I mean, and it's indescribable.
Right. And then to have to run and all of the doors are locked. I can't imagine that feeling of feeling trapped. That's the way he described it, feeling trapped when they're running and the doors are locked, but then they finally get to an exit door that is unlocked and they're able to eventually get away. But you can tell he's visibly shaken, and he's there with his daughters on campus when all of this happened. And so a lot of that, I'm sure a lot of people out there, so many people have similar stories, I'm sure. But this, again, happened around 12:01. Now, that initial alert from Florida State came out at 12:01 today. And the latest update we've gotten from them, it's been an hour since then.
Right.
But we do have our crews out there trying to get as much information as they can. So hopefully we can get that from them live as they're out there working to get those details. But they are asking to stay alert, and we'll definitely pass anything we learn on to you out there.
We certainly will. And we do know there are 4 confirmed victims at TMH. We don't know an exact number. That was what was confirmed earlier.
Yes.
Probably about an hour ago. We did get a statement from TMH saying that they're actively receiving and caring for patients related to the incident that occurred at Florida State University. The details are still unfolding. They do not yet have specific information to share. So they want to assure the community that their teams are fully mobilized and they are prepared to provide the highest level of care and support to all of those affected right now.
That's right. And even though that latest alert that we've seen from FSU has been an hour, there has not been an all clear yet. So just because some time has gone by, that does not mean it's okay to still be out and about.
That's right. Our Allison Posey is at TMH right now. We're going to check in with her to see what information she has. Allison?
Hey, thanks, Ava. Yeah, I'm live here outside of Southern Medical Group. It's kind of on the back side of Tallahassee Memorial Hospital on Medical Drive behind it. We have learned now 6 total victims have been taken to Tallahassee Memorial Hospital. 5 of those victims are serious. 1 is critical. That is all the information we have confirmed right now. We are working on getting a statement, an official statement from TMH as soon as we get that. And as soon as we get that, we will share it with you guys. But like I said, new information just coming in. 6 total victims have been taken to TMH here in Tallahassee. 5 of those victims are serious. 1 is critical. And again, waiting on that official statement. Not a lot going on right now. Again, we are on the backside of TMH. Normal traffic back here. Don't see anything out of the ordinary. But when we do hear something new, we will report it back to you guys. From Tallahassee Memorial Hospital, Allison Posey, WCTV.
All right. Thank you so much, Allison. Allison Posey reporting from the Southern Medical Group at TMH. 6 victims, 5 serious and 1 in critical condition.
Yes, that is the latest we've gotten from Tallahassee Memorial. They do have a staging area out there, and they've said that they are prepared to deal with this situation for any victims. So as you see, they are working on things. That number again, at this moment, 6 victims related to the shooting on Florida State's campus. That shooting happened around noon today. So 6 victims, 5 right now we're told in serious condition, 1 in critical. So our Allison Posey is staged on the backside in the TMH area. TMH said they are making sure to keep the community as safe as they can. So anything coming their way, they are prepared to give the best care as possible to anyone who may be in need.
And we have an update from TPD. Multiple law enforcement agencies actively working to secure FSU. The campus, the student reunification point is being established at the Tucker Center. We are going to go to Jacob Murphy. He is at Woodward in Tennessee speaking to students. Jacob.
Some of the students out the back way.
You're right there. They're actually evacuating some students. We're going to head that way. Sorry.
All right, so Jacob's probably getting ready right there, talking to those students. He's been staged ever since we got word about this shooting. We had our crews immediately go out there for this breaking news. Jacob is at Woodward Avenue and Tennessee Street. So those are the students he's speaking to. Even earlier when he first got out there, he mentioned seeing some students go by. He could see that some did seem frightened, their facial expressions, but no one seemed too worried as far as running and getting too frantic at the time. But he's still out there speaking with different people, getting some information from them and seeing if anyone witnessed anything and talking about their feelings. So I'm sure we'll hear from that young lady that we just saw a few moments ago.
Absolutely. And just to reiterate, TPD has said multiple law enforcement agencies actively working to secure the Florida State campus. The student reunification point has been established at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. So students, I guess, are going there to reunite with their friends, their family, and whoever, and make sure, that everyone's safe and they can check in. Safe.
Yeah, that's right. If you have people that maybe you have been calling or trying to check with, that reunification area should be a good place to go if you're looking for someone, if you can't get in touch with them for some reason.
So we are looking at a live shot now of Woodward and Tennessee Streets. Now it looks like there are students lining up there and there's an out of service. Okay. We just got word that AP is reporting the suspect is in custody. Again, AP is reporting the suspect is in custody. That is very good news.
Yes, good news indeed.
And we'll certainly give you more information on that as soon as we have it. What we're looking at now is the Woodward in Tennessee by that intersection there. It looks like they've taken an out-of-service bus and they are loading the students up on the bus. They may be going to that reunification center at the Civic Center. Not sure, but I know that TPD had said that is where the student reunification point is. So they'll be shortly, it looks like, maybe loading those students onto the bus to get them where they need to go. Everybody's just trying to stay organized and safe and calm to get everybody to the right place on campus.
Oh, that's right. And those things are important in times like this. Even though it can be scary, but being organized, you see they're lined up. Yeah. Everything seems to be in order. The law enforcement officers out there helping, I'm sure in any way they can. And even the people, those students, they seem calm. They feel safe, it appears. And we have heard some even say that they feel safe. Yeah. And so, they have that feeling. It looks like everything is under control, and the agencies out there have been able to obviously make the students and faculty members, staff, anyone out there feel like everything is under control. But again, the AP has reported the shooting suspect is in custody.
That's right, and that is good news today. People are still sheltering in place on campus. The person I've been in communication with is still sheltering in place, waiting for police to, knock on that door and give that safe word to take them to, I guess, the Tucker Civic Center.
And even though we've gotten word that the suspect is in custody, we still don't have any information on that person yet. Right. So hopefully that information can come out soon. We don't know who it is and why this happened. That's always a big question. Of course, I'm sure everyone wants to know why this happened. So none of that information has come out yet. But again, the FSU shooting suspect is in custody. We did hear from a witness earlier who said they saw someone with a handgun.
And people started rushing to the back and everyone just started running out of the student union. So I made my way back out where the old bookstore is. About a minute later, we heard about 8 to 10 gunshots.
And
And then you mentioned that you saw someone that appeared to have been shot next to you. Or
Yeah. So there was another gentleman that was running away, and looks like he was shot in the pelvic area, and he laid down and he got help and assistance from the police.
And then you just made your way across the street. How long was it until you thought?
I was there for probably about 45 minutes until they started clearing all around the around the student union, and then I had to walk around.
What was going through your head through the whole entire thing?
Just surreal. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. Just being in here at college campus, everything was really quiet, then all chaotic.
And where are you from?
Tampa.
Tampa. Okay. Anything else you want to share?
No.
All right. Stay safe. Thank you.
So you guys on WCTV?
Yeah, we're the CBS here in town.
Oh, okay. I see. So yeah, how do you talk to?
Okay, that's Jacob Murphy talking to people at Woodward in Tennessee there, right near the student union where this shooting happened this afternoon. Now, this man who Jacob was just interviewing, I believe he was in the student union, and he said he heard 8 to 10 gunshots. And we keep hearing this word, surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody is saying this is so surreal. He said it was so quiet, and then it just became chaos.
Yeah.
So an incredible tragedy this afternoon at the student union at FSU's campus. We're trying to get as much information as we possibly can to you as soon as we can. Cody Butler's on the scene. Jacob Murphy's on the scene. We're talking to people. And we've got Allison Posey also. She's at TMH trying to get more information on the victims and their conditions right now.
Yes, and hopefully we do get some information about the.
Thank y'all for joining. Listen, you all do too. We're gonna listen to this or watch this for about 10 more minutes, then we're gonna get started, y'all. Okay. Thank y'all for joining. Make sure y'all hit that like button for your girl. Support the channel. And we're gonna watch this for about 10 more minutes, and then we're gonna get the show started. We'll come back tomorrow and
So I was in my
talk
economics and
about this
Middle
in
East class. We
detail.
were giving our final
Thank y'all.
presentations on a research paper we were doing. And so one of my classmates was presenting, and someone close to the window had said they saw people running past Bellamy, and someone got a text. And then we kind of all realized something was going on. So we got the desks and started piling them up against the door. We tried to get the bigger desk, the main desk, the presenter's podium against the door, but we tried to rip some wires out of the wall, so it was pretty hectic. But
you ever hear the gunshots?
No, I did not, but I did hear ambulances, or I mean, what I thought was ambulances initially, and I was kind of
wires out of the wall. Why?
Because usually when they get close to campus, they, their alarms to, refrain from making big disturbance. But I mean, prayers to all my peers, the professors, the staff, the Tallahassee community. I mean, really the country. I'm gonna call on Governor Ron DeSantis, the President Donald Trump for, this stuff keeps going on, right? But we're praying every day. Prayer is good. Spirituality is good, but prayers don't do much, right? So it's good for the soul, but is this so happening? I think it is. So we need to make some gun reforms because and that's one of the reasons I'm going into law. So why do things like this keep happening? I'm at a loss for words, honestly. So but thank you, and prayers to everyone. But again, that only does so much, right?
Yeah.
Right. So,
and have you been able to text other students, other friends on campus?
Right,
Is everyone okay that what's the collective sense right now?
I don't know anyone that's been hurt, thankfully. My phone's been blowing up. Parents, everyone's calling. And so thankfully I don't know anyone. And I'm really just I'm really just dreading the thought of having to come to some sort of memorial or hopefully not memorial, but some sort of community gathering to show some solidarity for this. I mean, that I'm dreading that. That's what I'm dreading.
Certainly understand. Anything else you want to share?
Yeah, thank you. And there has to be some change. What's going on in our government? What do these guys do? They just line their pockets, with gun lobbyists, the NRA. Unacceptable. I mean, have some basic empathy. which, you know, it's hard to ask from people. I guess that's so tough for people. So, you know, I'm saying things that really don't matter. It's not, we don't see any change coming anytime soon, but.
No, I understand and appreciate you talking. Hopefully you stay safe and hopefully everyone you know is doing okay. Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, so that was a student we just heard from live on air. Our Jacob Murphy interviewed them. They are at the intersection of Woodward Avenue and Tennessee Street. So as you can see, still students out there expressing their thoughts, expressing their feelings, and some even expressing or describing what they saw and heard at the time.
Calling for change.
Yes.
And obviously very, very upset. He was in his class and, you know, they saw out the window, students were running, and it's just a really unbelievably traumatic experience. I know that Governor DeSantis has issued a statement in regards to this shooting. Our prayers are with our FSU family, and state law enforcement is actively responding. Now, we do have our Stacey Inez on campus. She is next to the student union right now where this happened this afternoon. And I do believe we are, there she is right now. Stacey, what have you seen and heard there?
Ava, this has been quite an emotional scene. So as you mentioned, I'm right outside of the student union. There have been hundreds of other students standing by, a lot of people extremely concerned. But on the law enforcement side, we've seen several different agencies all carrying large assault rifles. And I want you to take a look at the scene so you can get an idea of what's happening behind me. So if you look over there, that is where we've seen a lot of law enforcement staging. You can see from my vantage point, there's even evidence markers on the ground. I've been able to see shell casings on the ground right here. Several people I've spoken to said that they saw this happen right out here on the lawn. And if you look over there, right where that motorcycle is, you can see an article of what appears to be clothing on the ground. There's also one shoe over in the lawn as well. And so we've just been watching. I've seen several students come out in groups of maybe 6 or 7 or so, and they've been coming out periodically with their hands up, escorted by law enforcement. We've seen different agencies coming in and out of the building in groups of 10 or 12, all carrying those large assault rifle style weapons. And at this point, we still don't have any official word from our perspective in terms of what's happening inside the building. But I can tell you that what we have been seeing in terms of the response going in and out, we've heard sirens continuously, and students are just in disbelief from what I have been seeing up to this point, and disbelief that all of this has unfolded today. I think shock is probably the best way to describe what I'm hearing from people. And at this point, this scene still remains very active. People, even as much as 10 minutes ago, coming out with their hands in the air. So of course, we'll stay here. We'll continue monitoring things, but really just very high emotion and a lot to grapple for a lot of students and even faculty that I've been standing with as well. Just cannot believe what they've seen here today. Ava, I'll send it back to you.
All right, thank you, Stacey. That's Stacey Inez. She is there on campus. That showed the Moore Auditorium there. You can see the crime tape and several.
Okay, y'all. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thursday. I bet it's Thursday. Yup. All right, welcome everybody. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. Okay, come on in. Now, like I said, for those that just joined us, we've been playing this for about an hour. This is in real time. This is in real time happening at Florida State University campus. There was an active shooter. Y'all was listening to the, and y'all know when this stuff be live like this and information be coming in, the information is subject to change and things of that nature, because you know people report what they know at the time, and then sometimes it changes, it switches up. But from what we know right now, the shooter has been apprehended. I'm pretty sure this will be something that's going on all day today. We will get back into it tomorrow. I'm sure by the end they'll be done released who and well, actually, I think we heard a name. I think we did hear a name. But yeah, I just wanted to make y'all aware of that, and I wanted to cover that a little bit. But we'll talk more about it tomorrow when there's more information. So, with that being said, we're gonna get into today's show. Hey, D True. Hey, Money Boy. Well, hey, D True. Money Boy already came on here being rude as usual.
What up? What up?
What up? What up? What up? I thought I had a picture up here. A banner picture. What's going on? Today has been a lot. All right, there it is. All right, y'all. So let me give y'all a little update on something. I'm not complaining or anything. I promise you, I live for this. But this channel and this stuff that we're covering on this channel has become a lot. And what I mean a lot, it's a lot to try to keep up with everything that's being put out, everything that's being said, trying to go through all the content and make sure I don't bring anything on here that I might regret, because I don't just like reporting on any and everything. I like to report facts. It's very little that I entertain when I do these stories over here on this channel. With that being said, I have decided, because see, I've been covering pretty much now at this point it's 4. It's gonna be 4 different stories. It's the Karen Lacey, Carmelo Anthony, this young man, I remember his name in a minute.
Hayes is his
Hayes,
last name.
Tracy, isn't it Tracy?
Tracy Hayes, yes.
Tracy Hayes Jr. And then now we got this that happened today. All right, and even before this broke out today, what we're looking at today, I had made a decision that I'm going to kind of sever all of these stories. I'm gonna stop trying to cover or update you all on every story every day. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sever the ties with the stories. Like, I'm gonna still try to come on this channel every morning for at least 2 hours, right? But I'm going to cover, like, one day I'll cover Lacey. Then another day I covered this person, that person. I'm gonna do it like that. I'm just basically what I'm saying is when I come on live, we just gonna be covering one story at a time. Any updates I'll keep up with, and I'll bring the day that I decide to do coverage on that person. Because trying to do coverage on all of these stories that I got going on all in one live stream is becoming overwhelming, because I have to keep up with and go through content for all stories, and it's just becoming a lot. So I'm gonna come on every day. We're gonna get updates every day. We're gonna talk about stories every day. It's just that each day is gonna be a different story that we cover, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope I'm making sense, y'all, because I'm telling y'all, today has been a lot. All right, so with that being said, now what I'm going to do today, we just covered that live on what's happening right now. We are going to listen to, because listen, it seemed like everybody wanted to do press conferences today, right? So we got an update press conference on the Dallas shooter, the teenager. We got a press conference. Carmelo parents finally spoke. I don't know if anybody's seen it or not, but actually, Carmelo's parents, they spoke for the first time, and they say it's the last time. And then I got this video of Karen Lacey's lawyer speaking out too as well. This video is kind of, I'm not gonna say all, I'm gonna say it's not from today. He did this a couple of days ago that we're gonna get into. So basically, since we had to do this hour of coverage, and I don't want this live stream, y'all know, to go over 3 hours, we're gonna listen to those. We're gonna listen to those. Damn. I just lost. I just lost all thoughts. We're gonna listen to those press conferences. Damn, I couldn't think of that. Press conferences for each one of these young men, and we're gonna leave it at that for today. I am going to be doing. Make sure y'all check my community wall post. I shared out Karen Lacey's homegoing celebration. It's on my wall. I shared out the details of that. I am going to be on Sunday morning doing a live dedicated just to Karen Lacey. I got a lot of clips of people speaking out as far as his teammates, schoolmates, coaches. I watched Shannon Sharp, him and Ocho Cinco talk about it. I'm going to be doing that on Sunday. It's going to be like a memorial type, dedication type thing that I'm going to do on Sunday for Karen Lacey. due to the fact that it's so much negative being said about this young man. I'm gonna dedicate that live to everything good that I've come across that people has had to say about him, and it's a lot. And I'm gonna do all of that in one live on Sunday morning. Don't know the time yet, but I will keep y'all updated. Go ahead, Deetra. Oh, thank you, Ebros. I'm sorry, girl. I told you it's been a lot. I'm sorry. What did you want to say, Deetra?
Isn't that Easter?
Yeah, it's Easter. And
Oh, okay.
I do online church. And my church lasts about an hour. So it's gonna be after I do my church. I'm not going into listen. People may think I'm weird and strange, but even if I have been inside my church.
You're a robot. You're a robot. You're a robot.
Emma?
Yeah.
Let me go out and come back in. I'll be right back.
All right. So if you're wondering who the guy in the center of the picture is, that is Tracy Hayes, the shooter in the Dallas shooting. And did YouTube take my YouTube took my damn comment I made. Trey said we don't need gun control. We don't need gun control, but we do need responsible gun purchases, which means a more detailed background check and holds. You don't need that gun the same day you buy it. You don't need that gun 3 or 4 days from buying it. Fill out the application, send it in, and let it come back. And then you can have whatever you want, as many as you want. That's all I'm saying. That's not gun control. That's just responsible ownership. Can y'all hear me?
I'm back, D2. I'm sure they can. There's not a lot of typing when we do daytime live time.
They work
at work and stuff. But
I'm
am I
working.
better?
Yeah, you're better. You're better. You're
Okay,
not.
so what I was basically saying is this. I have not been inside my church since Tony's funeral. I haven't been making inside my church. My church has church on Facebook, which I'm part of every Sunday. I have not been back inside a church since a couple of months after Tony passed, when his brother passed. When his brother passed, I went to his funeral at him and his wife's church. I have not been back inside of a church since. But I do my online church on Sundays. But listen, a long time ago, I stopped really going to church on Easter because it'd be people you ain't seen all year. They just show up for Easter. It's a big fashion show. It's a lot. I tend to avoid church on Easter, for real. I've done it for years. I just thought it became too much. So I know people go into church on Easter. I still know a lot of people that do church online. So I'm just gonna schedule it for a time that I think that, cause see, my online church starts at 10 a.m. and it's over by at least 11:30. So I'm just gonna do it at about 12 o'clock probably. But I'm not sure yet.
I asked my church to pan the crowd more so I could see the hats.
I knew you were gonna say that. In my church, you ain't gotta look for them. They're just outstanding. They just be like, they hit you in the face.
They're using these stationary cameras. Can we just get one that pans the crowd?
So y'all don't have like the big screen? If you got the big screen and you just look at the big screen, you can see every one of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, we have actually. My church has like 3 screens.
Yeah. All you gotta do is get the big screen. You can just get a whole overall view of all the hats and everything.
But online, they don't pan enough. As soon as the choir is singing, they want to show the choir. They should have where you every now and then they pan the crowd. They don't do that enough.
Yeah.
Plus, I want to see who falls out.
Oh my goodness, the truth. Listen, I can't with you. I mean, no matter how I'm feeling, as soon as I get on live with you, it just all floats away, and I just laugh.
Again, they I don't know what's the problem with the cameraman. He will not put the camera on whoever's getting the Holy Ghost unless they get the
Be
Holy
true.
Ghost.
You got to go in the sanctuary for that. You can't be expecting that man to put the camera on somebody that's in the spirit. You can't listen.
Sometimes they catch it because the Holy Ghost makes them run right in front of the stage, and then you catch it. But most of the time, they over to the side. I want to. That's what I want to see.
What gets me is when they run out the pew.
I asked them to have a Holy Ghost camera, but they were like, "Yeah, we're not doing that." I was like,
Be true. Stop it.
I think people would tune in just for the Holy Ghost camera.
Be true.
What? You know, and I do.
Thank me, Gloria. Thank you, me, Gloria. Thank you, baby.
I do security for my church, for armed security.
I know, and you supposed to be security, but you you be running them up.
But they have a TV outside.
Good morning.
Listen,
everyone. How y'all doing this morning?
It is it's good to see you, man. It's good to have you
amazing.
here.
Thank you, baby, for all your
God, is that you, God?
Hush, D True.
Oh,
amazing.
God was talking to me.
He need to, and you need to listen. Amazing. Thank you so much for the links you sent me. Actually, my Facebook page is deactivated. I'm going to start a Facebook page for this channel today so I can go into those links and get that information that you sent me. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. And I also appreciate the alert. Amazing is the one, because I was busy doing some other stuff. Amazing is the one that alerted me about this, and I so appreciate it. Y'all don't laugh at D True. Y'all know he is the clown. He is the clown. Hey, Natasha.
What were you doing? But you know you can put our lives on Facebook, right?
I know. That's why I have decided it's a lot of stuff, D True. I think I need to think about. In order for me to do everything I want to do and come back strong, I need to take at least a week off, but I know that's not possible because these people are stalkers. I have messages, I have text messages, I have voicemail messages that even when I'm out for a day, I get threatened, my life get threatened. I think I'm going to do a news conference and let everybody know that my life is being threatened by my people. And things of that nature. I need to take off at least a week. I want to do some things for my channels, for the good of my channels, but I gotta do it like without having to come on here. And I ain't done it. I ain't done it.
You can embed the video right into
I know.
Facebook.
I do know. I'm gonna do all of that.
If you want a web page, we'll make you a web page.
Can you make me a web page?
Yeah, it's free.
But if I do a web page, because see, I plan on being active on at least all of my channels. But right now, I'm very active on this channel and I'm very active on my T channel. So if I do a web page, do I combine all my channels on that one page, or do I do one for each page?
You can, you have a page for each of them. Meaning it'll be you, right? So your front will be you. Right, and then over to the side, you're going to see pages, and each page will be a different channel. So your front page is an overview of what you're doing, and a synopsis of you and how long you've been. You know, like a little history. If you look to the left, you're going to see pages, and each page will be your channels.
Wow!
Except the dirty page. Don't put the dirty page.
I am going to put the dirty page. Are you serious? Okay. Listen, there are many. Listen, my page, every one of my pages represent a different part of me, a different side of me, and they are all real. Now, I got a dirty side. I have a freak nasty side. So why would I leave that out of?
Okay. All right. Yeah, you can. And there'll be a little slot for that. And all you do is click on it. And it'll anything you want to put, any pictures you want to put up, you all you do is just put the link in there, and it's embedded into the page, just like Facebook. They can watch the videos right there. You know, they'll be shown. It'll still count on YouTube though, because it's a YouTube link. So
we're gonna work on that.
And they watch it, it comes back to YouTube.
We're gonna work on that. And D True, please stay on me about that because you know I'll say I'm gonna do it and then I won't and then I procrastinate. Can you please start that for me?
Sure.
Like tell me
Are you high right now?
I'm not high, but I'm sort of kind of like in a somber mood, but I'm not high.
Okay. Well, I'm just asking because you don't be remembering what we say if you
No,
high.
I ain't hit the tweet. No, not today. I've been too busy, and that kind of melancholies me, kind of make me slow down, and I can't slow down right now.
Yeah, and we'll even have a links page to like our other people's channels.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. Well, you get like a plan, and do what you do, and then you let me what I need to do and what I need to get to you, and then we're gonna start on it. We're gonna get that done. Cause listen, I've come to realize that if I'm gonna do this, I gotta do it right. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do it right, and I gotta put. I feel like I put 100% in, but not really because it's so much more that I can have. Just like you say, I could be going live on Facebook. I could be doing this. I could be doing that.
You can go live on both of them right now at the same time.
I'm not doing it. I don't have the page yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
I gotta make the page. I gotta make the page. Okay. All right. So thank you, D True. All right, let me pull up. Okay, so y'all listen. The first thing we're gonna listen to is Karen Lacey's lawyer. Okay, he came out and spoke, right? And when I watched this, y'all, I promise you, something just went through my soul. Um. Oh, and thank you, Renee, for sharing that link. I think I saw you share the link to my post. I thank you for that. Y'all make sure y'all continue to pray for Lucius and her family. That for those that don't know, our Lucius, that is her family member. He is her family member.
This
Kyron is
segment is
her
brought.
family member. All right. So y'all know how we are about family, right? Let me. And I'm so happy that this thing is playing today. I hope it plays all day. I really do. All right. Let me see. Take this down. All right. So this is Kyron Lacey's lawyer. Now, let me give you a little catch up for the people that don't know. Kyron Lacey was set. Well, actually, his case was set to go to grand jury on Monday. He had been charged back in December with, help me out, the true negligent homicide and something operations of a vehicle, something like that.
Negligent homicide, reckless driving, fleeing the scene.
Okay.
With the three
So,
charges.
let me say this first for those that don't know. He was a star, standout football player for LSU. He had entered the draft. And he had those charges were put on him in December. The past weekend on Saturday night, there was an incident with him, and he ended up taking his own life. Um, his lawyer is going to speak about those charges and speak about what he felt like was going to happen once this case went to the grand jury. Okay, let's listen.
To you by Rouse's Markets. Feels like home. All right, welcome back to Bite Time. I'm Martin Falls, joined by Matt Ory, who's the attorney for Kyron Lacey. And of course, a lot of people know Matt here in the community. And Matt, I want to thank you for coming on. This is one of those stories that when you hear it, of course, if you go to social media, they're going to take you from A to Z, all over the place. We've been trying over here just to deal with the press releases we get, the police report. You've been dealing with a great portion of this concerning it because naturally you're in the know. I know some things you can say, some things you cannot say, but you're going to have a chance to say whatever you want to say on this program. But we'll tell the public that on April 12, 2025 at approximately 11:15 p.m., deputies with the Harris County Precinct 4 Constable's Office responded to a weapons disturbance call in 9300 block of FM 1960. The reporting in the case stated that a family member, later identified by her as 24-year-old Kyron Lacey, was involved in a verbal argument with her and had discharged a firearm into the ground. When the first Precinct 4 unit arrived on scene and began receiving information, they learned the suspect had fled the scene, and a description of the vehicle Lacey was driving was broadcast by radio. At approximately 11:35 p.m., Precinct 4 Constable's Office unit spotted Lacey and attempted to make a traffic stop on the vehicle. Lacey then fled, and a vehicle pursuit took place spanning several miles near 25900 block of Aldine Westfield, and the suspect vehicle crashed. And then pursuing Precinct 4 units, upon attempting to take Lacey into custody and remove him from the vehicle, discovered he had suffered what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Later, Lacey was pronounced deceased at the scene by EMS personnel. The vehicle Lacey was driving was registered and insured in his name. Now, let me just say this before I get to Mr. Orr. There's so much speculation in this. Granted, there was a prior incident that.
Thank you, Renee. You said God got many plans for you, so embrace your blessings. Thank you so much, sweetheart, and I will. I appreciate you. You are one of my blessings. Thank you, baby. I appreciate you.
State police had reported where he was involved in an accident where a man was killed. He's deceased. So there's different sides to the story. There's different reasons people get involved, but the speculation on these stories is all over the place. So I wanted to bring Mr. Ori on today to sort of home in on some facts and to understand this, and to understand that in both sides, with the veteran, with Kyron Lacey's family, people are grieving. This was a promising athlete, but more than that, he was a son. He was a relative to many. He was a friend to many. So a community is grieving. And there you see the talented young man there. We covered him a lot here on HTV when he was in his high school days. So without further speculation on this, let me go to his attorney, Matt Ori. Matt, once again, thank you for coming in. What can you add that would make sense of this, if I could ask you that?
This is undoubtedly the worst case I've ever come across in my legal career. Nothing has pissed me off more than this case from day one. Start by saying a man was tragically killed in an accident. Let's not twist this any more than it is. Mr. Herman was a good man. There is a proper platform for when those types of things happen. And in this case, it was not and is not criminal court. Let's be very clear on that right now. I will never, ever budge on that position. A grand jury was set today for the whole public to know, not once yet to this day has anybody ever said anything otherwise than the district attorney's office in Lafourche Parish has yet to this day to accept formal charges. Let that sink in. We were set for grand jury today. I am privy to so much information that no one has. To get a report is a report. You know how many cases we get reports on that ultimately end up in acquittals? This one never even got past a grand jury yet, and they crucified this kid. And when I mean crucified in a manner I cannot describe, I had these talks with him where you're trying to calm it down, say, man, turn it off, let me take the heat. I got thick skin. You got a problem with me on social media? Come at me. Who cares? They know nothing about this other than what was portrayed in an initial report that they're pieced together. They have no idea what I know now. They have no idea what was about to come out. And ultimately, I assure you, will still come out. This is just, I'm infuriated. And that takes nothing from the loss of Mr. Herman. Let's be very clear. A good man, a good family. I get it. There's a civil suit filed. That is the platform. Mr. Herman didn't ask for, you know what I mean? They had nothing to do to concoct this story. There's reasons all this happened. I know what they are. And it really has nothing to do with that side of things. No one's ever once disputed that. Kyron's grandfather is a veteran, right? The narrative spun here has just been fascinating. Quite frankly, whether you were Marine or not, everybody's life is important. I have the utmost respect for Marine. Kyron had the utmost respect for Marines. That's irrelevant in this case, but the media didn't see it that way. The media, the same media, you know how upset he was? Every mugshot that was placed on there, you couldn't give him the courtesy of the 5,000 other pictures he had. You put him in a jumpsuit as if he was a thug and if he was this awful kid. The whole thing is wrong. And we were just about to show the world
I want to come back and talk about that because there was something in that press release that I read that I want to ask you about that sort of brings it home, and I'll give you a chance to talk about that. We appreciate Matt Orey coming in to talk about Kyron Lacy from a different perspective. That's what we're trying to do here, is sort of bring you the story from a different perspective, because the stories you're reading on social media are way out there. We're trying to rein it in here. We'll be right back.
This segment was brought to you by Cardiovascular Institute of the South, providing our patients the highest quality cardiovascular care available.
All right, welcome back. We're talking about the death of Kyron Lacy. Matt Orey, his attorney, is joining us here on the news desk. We've had a segment before this. This is a statement from Kenny Lacy. Young parents, start talking to your kids at a very early age and make sure they are confident and comfortable confiding in you. Don't be cool with I'm all right or I'm good when you know deep down something isn't right. Mental health is real, and for the most part, it's invisible. Don't ignore the signs, even if they may seem small. Of course, he goes on to talk about his love, and his life has changed forever. And it's you could tell this is just tugging at his heart in a big, big way. And Matt, I know we had talked prior to the show, but today was such a crucial day. And, you know, but for a young man, 24 years old, I guess it was excruciating getting to this day. And here we are.
Yeah, we're set for grand jury today, a day that I've been waiting for over a month. And I explained the process, but, you know, going to his dad's statement, I mean, you don't know what you're dealing with when you're talking about these things. You take for granted someone's 24 years old. It just, the whole thing, man. And one more day, he had to hang on one more day. And it just, when it's deeper, I don't know what to say. I have no idea. I can't comprehend it. I can't compartmentalize how we got to where we needed to be by the skin of our teeth. At least I thought. And I get a call at 11:58 at night. And I mean, I don't know, man.
And you thought things would be in your own, well, I'll let you say it in your own word. You thought there was a pretty good chance today that things would be.
Pretty good chance. I thought there was an outstanding chance that today this was over. You know, in my career, you live for these days. You work hard to get to those moments where you get to make those phone calls, to watch that kid smile again. You know, he's devastated when his combine cord gets pulled. I remember the day. And you want to reverse the trend. And the second I got a hold of this case, I knew things were off. There was no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. And then, of course, you start stringing things together, right? I get an initial report in every case. Then we do our job. District Attorney's Office starts doing their job. They do their investigation. It's just sad, man. Ms. Russell held up to her word. She did everything she could to keep it fair for both sides, to make sure that we got this done in a timely manner, which in our world, it was very fast. And we just ran out of time. And I truly thank her for her kept us informed the whole way of the process. And we ran out of time, man. It's I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, and Christine, she's a fair woman.
She's very fair.
Yeah. Where do you see, or what have you told the family? Where does it go from here, Matt?
I'm not stopping. I will not stop until what I know is divulged and what is told and that story is done. I firmly believe today, and I'll never take this back if it was you or I or anybody else, the investigating agency would never have brought charges against us. There's another human in this case that is a defendant in the civil lawsuit. She's not charged with a crime. I'm the very, very, very strong opinion, if we're coming to a proportionment of fault here, it wouldn't even be close. Stand by what I'm saying, and I'm not backing off. I will never back off of that. Not for him, not for anybody. It's never going to happen again to somebody else. Not this way. Yeah. Too many things you find out after the fact that go, that's interesting. That was ignored. Or that's what your expert says. Well, how about what this investigation says? You know, you watched an accident. Let's be very clear. You were so close. You didn't get in a collision with the vehicles in front of him. Mr. Herman was in front of him, his vehicle, at the time that this happened. He watched the accident happen. The second car in oncoming traffic, whatever they were doing, goes into the other lane. And Kyron was charged with negligent homicide. Think about that.
Yeah, this is interesting information we're getting right now.
This is the tip of the iceberg of information, but the initial reports that he fled a scene, he did this, he did that. You know how many people see wrecks every day and don't stop? It doesn't mean you don't care about the person, if they were injured, how they were injured. There's so much that you don't know. And frankly, in that initial report, that it is exactly what it is.
So state police handled the initial.
They did.
Okay, so what would be your next step as an attorney? Have you thought it out yet? I know it's very emotional time for you, right?
I have, and that at this, I mean, I told you that before the interview started. There's certain things I will not divulge, but I can promise you this is not over, and I'm not stopping. I'm very convicted in how I feel in this. I've done this too long, and I knew from day one, where this was going. And it makes me sick. There's nothing else I can say. I'm not happy. I'm not sleeping. I'm not eating. Who gives a damn about me? It ain't about- I'm just saying that that's where my head's at right now. I don't need to say anything else.
All right.
It's all been thought out. And I want the truth told.
Well, Matt, we appreciate you joining us. Very tough circumstances. I appreciate you taking time to bring this to the public, and thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. We'll follow this story.
All right, D-True, before I forget, there's 3 things I want to talk about when it comes to this interview, right? You hear? D-True? I guess not.
Yeah, sorry, I was typing something.
Oh, okay, no problem. So listen, before I forget, and I know you'll remember once I tell you. 3 things I want to talk about. Okay. The first thing he said that I want to talk about is there's another. No. The first thing is his draft card was pulled. I didn't know that. The other thing I want to talk about is he says that there's another person, because you know there's a civil suit, right? That guy says that there's another person that's listed in that civil suit, but that person was not arrested. That person was not charged with anything. The third thing I want to address is, damn, I think I forgot. Hold on. The fact that he said Kyron was behind the car that the deceased person was in. All right, so let's talk about the draft card being pulled. Did you know that? Hi, Sonya.
Yeah, he was uninvited to the combine. Now, for people that don't know, the combine is where possible people entering the draft will go and they will evaluate their skill sets. So if you're a wide receiver, everybody does the 40-yard dash. Everybody does this. There's weightlifting. There's all kinds of things to show that you're capable. Jumping. There's all kinds of stuff that go on during the combine. They're running sprint drills. They're throwing passes. If you're a quarterback, you're throwing passes. Blah, blah. You're catching, So it's every team gets to see you on this day and evaluate you, rather than, because a lot of the people that enter the draft, they're not on TV all the time. There's no films that coaches watch because they're probably in a school that doesn't get a lot of airtime. So the combine gives everybody a level playing field to show your skills off. And for him to be uninvited or not invited to the combine is a big blow. That is a big blow to anyone, to not be invited to that.
So basically, because see, I'm a little confused. You say he wasn't invited to that. So basically, does that mean he was not in the draft? He was not a draft pick?
No.
Or he just wasn't invited?
He was in the draft because LSU had a pro day. So what LSU does, each college will have a pro day, and scouts can come to the pro day to meet the players that are going to enter the draft from the specific universities.
Mm-hmm.
He had a LSU pro day, and from what they're saying is he did really well. And I guess teams were going to use that. But again, the NFL shies away from people with legal problems. The NFL has a big morality clause, and that includes all the way to the Hall of Fame. You could be shunned from the Hall of Fame for something stupid you did after you retired. So there's a big morality clause with the NFL. So if he was in any kind of legal trouble, they're going to shy away. Like I said, I don't think this would have caused him I think he wouldn't have been in the first round, but I think he may have been drafted probably 5th or 6th round, which is not bad. You're not guaranteed any money, but they're going to offer you a contract once you're drafted. Once you get into the later drafts, you're coming to their camp, and whether you make it from there is totally up to you. You get a little money for being at the camp, but it's not like if you're, the number 1 pick gets a contract. If you're picked in the first round, you're getting a contract.
Right.
You're going to play. You're going to stay on that team, regardless if you're not starting or not. You're going to stay on that team if you're
Hey, Cam.
in the first round.
Right.
5th or 6th, but again, Tom Brady was either a 5th or a 6th round draft pick.
Dang, I didn't know that. And look where he ended up, huh?
Tom Brady was a 5th or I believe.
I had no clue. I didn't know.
Tony Romo was drafted in the 7th round.
Wow.
Of the draft, the 7th round, and he became the Cowboy quarterback for years. There's a lot of people out, even I want to say a couple Super Bowl quarterbacks weren't first round.
I had no idea. Cammy Pooh, you keep my little nephew safe out there in Texas, baby, because I don't know what's going on. It's a lot. Just keep my Pooh Bear safe. Go ahead, Detroit.
I'm just saying, first round picks. I mean, there's actually he's called Mr. I forgot the word they use. Irrelevant? Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant.
Wow.
Is the last pick. The last pick of the draft. The actual draft is called Mr. Irrelevant.
Wow.
Do you know he is the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers right now?
Wow.
He was the last pick of the draft, and he is now the starting quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. His name
So
is
basically, even if he wasn't like in the first round pick or whatever, as long as he got picked, he would have been able to.
He would go to
live out his
the
dream.
and understand. There's things called walk-ons too.
Absolutely, yeah, I know about that.
You can
Yeah.
walk on the camp, and they'll give you a shot. They actually, right before camp starts, each team holds their own camp.
Right.
And they invite people that weren't drafted to come to these things. And you can get a shot.
Can you try now? Can you try? And I know I'll be expecting a lot out of you because you're my Superman, right? So there's a civil case. I didn't know a civil case had already been filed.
I'm looking for it right now.
Because I want to know who this other person is that's named in the civil case. Because the lawyer is stating that if this person is named in the civil case, why wasn't they charged? And I want to know if it was one of the people in one of the other cars.
All right, I'm looking at it right now.
All right, and let's talk about what he said about.
Fucking New York Post.
What do you think about what he said about? And apparently, this is what Kyron told him. I don't know if this is what Kyron told him or it was in the police report, but the lawyer stated that Kyron was actually behind the accident when the accident happened. He was behind the car that Mr. I can't remember his name.
See, it's only speculation, so don't start.
But I wouldn't think that a lawyer would come out here with speculation now.
Well, what I'm saying is on my part, it's only speculation. Now, if he was racing with the other car that's being mentioned, and he was racing that car in and out of traffic, and then that car is the one that pulls out in front of the other car, causing the accident, he is still going to be charged.
Why wasn't the other person charged?
I don't know. That's what I'm looking at now.
Because that's huge.
A lot of people are calling this a witch hunt to knock his favorability down in the draft. A lot of people have said that. I'm seeing a lot of that right now. So the only way that, in my mind, he could have been implemented in the crash if he was with that car racing. Because if he isn't the one that pulled out into the opposite lane, then why is he being charged? The only way he could be charged is if he was engaging in reckless driving with that car. See what I'm saying? But I'm looking for it now.
Okay, thank you. So we're gonna move on to the next thing I want to cover when D2, because those are the three main points that I wanted to talk about as far as this interview with the lawyer. Like I said, I'm gonna repeat it again for those that did not hear me. I'm going to be severing these cases. I'm going to be covering each one of these cases on live streams one at a time. Basically, I'm going to be coming live every day, but every day, instead of doing all the stories together, I'm going to do each story by themselves, right? So as far as Kyron is concerned, the next live stream I'm going to do on him is going to be on Sunday morning, which is Easter, I know. I'm thinking it's going to be about 12 noon. And I'm going to do a live dedicated to his memory. I'm going to play clips of people speaking out about him, the type of young man he was. I'm going to play everything I'm going to play, because it's so, like I say, when I do these live streams, I talk about the good and the bad, which means I talk about the good of the person and I talk about what's being said that is bad. Not to say that the bad is true, right? But I just address it because it's out there, and I don't want my content or my commentary to be one-sided. Because see, I'm the type, I can play the good and the bad, and when it comes to the bad, I can point out why I think the bad is for the crap, but that's just me, right? Because there's a lot of lies, there's a lot of things being said, and you know what I'm saying? So that the live stream that I'm going to do on Sunday, it's going to be dedicated to Kyron Lacey. I'm going to put up, our Lucius is very active. That's why I share her out, and I want y'all to always comment and let her know that we love her and we're praying for her family, right? So I'm going to be highlighting her community wall with all her posts dedicated to Kyron. We're gonna be there's a couple of people that's come out and spoke. Boosie came out and spoke. I'm gonna talk about that. All of that is gonna be on Sunday's live stream. Okay, so we're gonna move on now. When D-True come back, if he find anything, we're gonna talk about it. But we're gonna move on to the next. And I did not put this guy. Let me see if I can get it right quick. Y'all give me a second. Let me see if I can pull his photo. I had so much going on, y'all. I was trying to do a million things at one time today. The next thing we're going to talk about is this young man, Mr. Tracy. But I can't remember his name.
Hayes.
Tracy Hayes Jr., right? So, Tracy Hayes Jr. is the young man accused of shooting up the high school in Dallas. And I got to keep this out. See, this is why I have to sever these cases, because the thing that happened with Carmelo is in Frisco and he's in Dallas. Okay, so he is accused of shooting up the high school in Dallas, Texas, a couple of days ago. When I come back on his live stream, because today we're just going to focus on these press conferences, right? But when I come back with my next live on him, there is now video out here of him going live on Facebook. There's also video out here of him being arrested. And we're going to get into all of that. We're going to go into more detail about all of that that's out. But for today, we are going to listen to the press conference giving updates on his case. Okay? So, let me push play. And we're going to listen. Thank everybody for being here. I appreciate it. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for your girl. support the channel, you can hit the Cash App, you can hit the PayPal, Super Chat, Super Sticker. And yeah, thank y'all so much for being here. Let's listen.
As we're getting prepared to start this press conference. First, thank you for attending. I just wanted to briefly make an introduction in spelling so that way we can move forward with our press event. Today, you'll have the pleasure of speaking with Chief Albert Martinez, Chief of Dallas ISD Police. That spelling is Albert, the traditional way, A-L-B-E-R-T, Martinez, M-A-R-T-I-N-E-Z. Again, Chief of Police for the Dallas Independent School District's Police Department. And then following that, after an update, we will provide an opportunity for questions. And we know that there are some questions that you all have. We will allot a few minutes for that. And then at the conclusion of that, we will wrap and end this particular briefing opportunity. So thank you so much. And I'll turn it over to our Chief of Police, Albert Martinez. Thank you.
Thank you, Robin. I want to thank everyone for their patience and understanding as we prepare to provide information on the shooting that happened at our Wilmer Hutchins High School. As you can imagine, yesterday we were busy trying to track down information and prepare our investigation and move forward with that, and then be able to update you all today. This is obviously not something that we want to happen, but we understand the violence that is happening in our communities, not only in Dallas, but throughout the state. First of all, I'd like to take a moment and thank the Dallas Independent School District Police, our men and women who were there and did everything they needed to do to get inside that school. The Dallas Police Department, the Texas Department of Public Safety, Dart Police, Dallas County Sheriff's Office, the Hutchins Police Department, the Dallas Fire Rescue, the ATF, the FBI, Dallas Constable's Office, and the Dallas County Marshal's Office. The Dallas Independent School District Police is the lead investigative agency in this shooting. We are committed to making our schools the safe haven that we all expect. Safety is everyone's responsibility, and it starts in our communities and continues on in our schools. Dallas ISD Police and Security and the district schools monitoring teams spend an enormous time training, along with carrying out those monitoring duties, ensuring that our safety and security is taking place in these schools, including Wilmer Hutchins, and reviewing our safety protocols on how we can be better. We also have a duty to you all, to the community, to be transparent and accurate with our information, but we also have to be responsible on providing that information, again, to make sure that we are being accurate and we are providing you all with the most capable or most useful information at the time. Of course, it takes time to gain an accurate picture of what happened. We understand the frustrations, parents and students, and trust me, we're all feeling that frustration, and we are frustrated ourselves. Each of you know how detrimental sharing incorrect intel can be. This is still an active investigation, so not everything can be shared, but we are conducting our investigation. So, based on video evidence at Wilmer Hutchins High School, at 12:56 p.m., the shooter arrives at the Wilmer Hutchins High School parking lot and parks his vehicle on the north side of the school. At 12:58 p.m., the shooter exits his vehicle and walks around to the west side of the school and approaches a side door or back door, which was locked and it was secure. At 1:01 p.m., another student opens that locked door on the west side of the building, and the student enters. Or I should say the shooter. The shooter is observed walking down the hallway towards the cafeteria, and that's at 1:02. At the same time, at 1:02 p.m., the shooter opens fire and wounds 4 students, and the other students that were in that hallway scramble away from the shooter. At 1:03 p.m., the shooter is fleeing and exiting out the same door, and then he runs back to the vehicle that he had in the parking lot at the north side of the school, enters that vehicle, and leaves the campus. And through that timeline from the point of entry into the school to the time he exits is less than 2 minutes. I do want to correct some misconceptions and share what we can. We've worked on our safety protocols. Again, this entry was not made through the front doors and metal detectors. We've talked about that. Obviously, we were here about a year ago talking about this very situation, but this did not happen through our front doors or through our metal detectors.
Do you think, and I'm probably going to be stopping this, y'all, because I'm not going to remember the questions. This one is a little lengthy. So, D-True, do you think that student that opened that door will suffer any repercussions? That's the first question. And
Yes.
do you think that student knew this guy and knew that he was coming to the school and was there to open the door?
Whoever opened that door, if they find out who opened that door, is going to be charged with a crime of because you're not supposed to allow anyone onto the campus. So if anything, they're
You're not supposed to allow anyone through side doors because
yeah.
everybody's supposed to be going through metal detectors.
No, you're not supposed to allow anyone into the campus that isn't coming through the front door.
Right.
If you're late or whatever, that's your problem. You come through the front door. So
Right.
they will be charged with, I don't know, they may be charged with, disorderly conduct. They may be charged with something. They will be expelled.
At this point, to me, honestly, they can be charged as an accessory.
They can, but
especially if they knew what he was gonna do.
If they knew what he was going to do and he was part of the plan, yes. But if he was just a stupid kid who opened the door for someone he saw outside, they wouldn't be able to charge him with accessory. He would have to know what's going on.
Right.
In order to charge him with accessory to the crime that was committed. They may be able to get him with accessory for just allowing him in and this happens. But that would be a long shot to charge him with accessory if he doesn't know. Now, if he knows this kid, they might be able to get him.
Right. Okay. All right. I'm pretty sure.
Our safety protocols were being followed by our staff and our officers. Our metal detectors were operating effectively. I want to emphasize to you all that all doors at this campus were locked and were secure. As you know now, the suspect is in custody, and he was a student enrolled in Wilmer Hutchins High School. Our students' privacy limits does not allow the district to confirm his name, but that is pretty much common information now. The suspect was let's see, again, mentioning here that 4 students were wounded in this shooting. Another 5th student suffered a injury, but that was more of a scrape or a bruise from the falling and running. Dr. Elizalde and the school leadership team members have reached out to the families of the victims who are expected to make a full recovery. We are aware of an unauthorized video circulating social media that appears to be from the school's surveillance camera. We are investigating how this video came about or how it was accessed and released. And at this time, we cannot fully confirm or cannot confirm validity of the content. At this time, our Wilmer Hutchins High School will remain closed. It was already going to be closed on Monday. Our staff will return on Tuesday, and we expect our students will return on Wednesday unless the superintendent and our staff or cabinet members decide otherwise. With that, I'm going to open it to you all for questions.
Can you tell us why did the district wait for 4 hours to tell the public that the gunman was on the loose?
Yes, ma'am. So in these situations, first of all, we're dealing with a very large high school. Our protocols are very simple. We go in to stop the killing, stop the dying. It's written in law. It's written in our policy. Once we've established that, we're rendering aid, ensuring we get the students out, and then we start sweeping the school. So by the time we finish with all that, then we're getting information. This is a potential shooter. Usually, with all these situations, there's always a second shooter, real or imagined. So by the time we're getting all this information, when we established that we had information, we sent out teams to go find him. At the time, we did not feel that we needed to put out that information. Maybe it was slower, maybe it wasn't. But it wasn't going to exactly do a public good to put it out immediately. We also didn't really have a good description. We had a name. Actually, we had several names. But that being said, we sent out our law enforcement teams to go find them.
I'm going to take one here and in the back.
Yes, ma'am.
So your team has said that this gun was not brought in during normal intake hours. What are normal intake hours, and are there only metal detectors at the front doors and not anywhere else in the school?
The protocol at the school is they come in through that front door at intake hours and after intake. So in other words, once the bell rings and school starts, the intake, the late arrival as we call it, is at the front entrance where there are metal detectors. The protocol is everybody comes in through there. Again, it's in our practice, in our student conduct, that those doors are not opened when somebody's outside at the other doors.
So if the doors were secure then how is that student able to just open the door?
It's got a push bar, right? We have to have those doors available to be open from the inside
I'm sorry. I said this the other day. I think the news reporters, this media, they are some of the dumbest. I'm sorry. It'd be the questions for me. Anybody, well, maybe she don't have a key. Maybe she don't know how it works, but everybody knows doors at schools are secure from the outside. They cannot lock the students inside the school with the access not being able to go out of the door once they're in the school. Everybody knows this. It can't be a lean on me type of situation with Joe Clark with chains on the doors. The doors are secure from the outside. Anybody on the inside can, of course, push the door open. My God, today.
Code.
Would you describe what secure means?
Sure.
More specific.
So secure, I mean, it just means it's locked and it cannot be opened from the outside. They can be opened from the inside, like any doors that you see, probably even in your own building, where you just push it open to go out, but that's in compliance with fire code.
So why are there not metal detectors at other doors?
Sure. You know, it's we've worked very hard, as you all know. Again, we were having this conversation a year ago, and what I mentioned to you all when we were talking or being interviewed, we talked about safety protocols, the things that we're doing. We did those things. I'm here to tell you, I believe because we did those things, that gunman was not able to get into the doors, knowing that we are doing our baggage checks. We are working through our metal detectors, these brand new detectors that we bought. We do sweeps, we do audits, we're doing all the things that we're expected to do. And what's frustrating is that he was able to come in through another door that, yes, we patrol and we sweep that as well. But like everything else, we're not able to be there right on that spot every single time. And there's a lot of entry doors into this high school, like many high schools.
I'm gonna one second. Listen, I'm gonna make sure we have everyone's questions answered. But we'll start here. I'm coming here, and then you. That'd be great. Yes. Yeah.
Ahorita para ese estudiante que abrió la puerta, vamos a hacer las policies del distrito en esa persona, pero también vamos a buscar a ver si hay cargos criminales. So, mándeme. Sí, señor. Yes. So what they asked was, is the student that opened the door facing criminal charges? That student did violate code of conduct of our handbook, so he will face administrative penalties. But we're also.
There you go. That's what I was thinking. Like, I mean, the person that opened the door, you're not supposed to do that. Girl, I had to take it back to Joe Clark because she asked the dumbest question. I cannot.
But that's what I said.
Yeah.
They will face something, even from the school, and they could later face some criminal if they find out that he was involved in it.
Right. Okay.
That is also incorporated in our criminal investigation, and we'll determine if there will be criminal charges.
Right here, back there, green shirt.
You mentioned we were here a year ago talking about the incident at the same high school, and the superintendent said they're going to do everything to make sure this doesn't happen again. Now that it has, what would you say to parents who don't trust their students will be safe at the school?
Well, first of all, we recognize that feeling. We understand. But second, we've been working on these protocols continuously. It's not ever stale, right? What you will see different is as we continue through the school year is more police and security. We're increasing staffing. We're also adding school leadership. But in the meantime, that's the front end. We want them to be assured that we are keeping it safe. But at the same time, we're going back to the drawing board and what else can we do through technology, through personnel, through our procedures and our processes of how do we enhance this. Plus the other part is we have a large student body there. How do we incorporate them better in the safety and security? I'll give you an example. We just recognized a fourth grader 10 days ago or maybe 2 weeks ago for recognizing at another school that somebody was trying to come in through the back door. A fourth grader recognizing this person shouldn't be allowed in and goes tells an adult. Here we have somebody much older, and I get it. It's the teenage ways of thinking, but we have to keep emphasizing that we're all responsible for that safety.
I'm gonna go right here. I'm going right here, and then green shirt.
Mándeme.
Padres de familia indicaron que no fueron notificados de lo que ocurría en la escuela. ¿Cuál es el protocolo de notificación para los padres?
Yeah, so sí, vamos a garantir que vamos a estar ahí y proteger la escuela, porque ahorita estamos en el medio de testing y queremos que sepan los padres y los estudiantes, que van a estar, la seguridad está ahí, como le digo, ahorita estamos haciendo todo lo que podemos antes de esto y también ahorita y después.
Green.
Yeah, we've obviously already invested in metal detectors. This is another instance similar to Wendy where the shooters are getting through side doors. I mean, how do we prevent this from happening? This could have been a lot worse.
Absolutely. I can tell you that there are metal detectors there, but we don't allow intake there, right? We've even talked about putting sensors on the doors. Can you remove the handles from the outside of the doors? But there's a fire code, and that's a balance. And we run into that with DFR inspections to ensure that there's an ability if we have a fire alarm happen or an actual fire, they have to be able to get out. You know, we can't go back to the days of chaining those doors and nobody can get out, nobody can get in. And that's the balance that we're facing.
I'm gonna go right here. We've already gotten to here and White, and
Yes,
try to circle back.
Yeah. After last year's shooting, Superintendent Elizalde pointed out the vulnerabilities of the many doors in school, and so that you would work with the school to identify those and conduct an after-action review. What were the results of that review? Did anything change?
Well, again, those doors remain locked. I can tell you, not without getting way too deep into it for safety and security, our maintenance staff conduct sweeps of those doors to ensure they're locked. We actually get penalties from the state, or at least through their audits, if they find that a door is not
Thanks for dropping down, sweetie.
Our police and security conduct those sweeps as well.
Much love.
Our staff are constantly monitoring those doors. We have outside patrols when we have our patrol officers coming through. So those protocols are in place. And then now again, can we be there 24/7? No, we cannot, or through the entire school day. But how do we make that better through those sensors? How do we leverage the technology?
Do we know what led the student to return back to campus with a gun? Some other students were saying that they were over a dice game. He already had a knife on campus, but left and returned to bring the firearm.
We don't have that information as to the why, the motivation, right? We do believe there's a dispute taking place. Obviously, there's social media that he posted articulating his thoughts, and we are looking into that. But to officially tell you the why, we don't have that at this point.
Testigos nos dicen que dentro de esta escuela hay una disputa interna entre pandillas estudiantiles. ¿Ustedes tienen esta información y la pueden confirmar?
Sí, señor, sí tenemos esa información de las pandillas y esa es parte de la investigación. Como preguntó, ¿qué es el motivo que está pasando? Y no sabemos si es directamente la pandilla o si es más entre las personas. So the question that was asked was, there's reports of that this is actually a gang dispute, and are we aware? So yes, we are aware of the gang dispute. We are working with the Dallas Police Department. We're not sure if this is actually a gang dispute or is there something more involved to this.
Girl, Candy, you would be so, well, maybe not. You would be so shocked as to how many young people, young adults, those dice games get intense. We had a young man here, probably about 2 years ago. He was, I want to say he was 17. He's the son of one of my, I used to work with his mom. I used to work with her. He got unalive behind a dice game. I know a couple of instances where young men have been unalive over dice games. It's ridiculous.
But that is part of our investigation. No, sir. Yeah. Okay.
I'll go right here.
I know that I was close talking about just frustration with parents, and as well as I know that we're going through holiday weekend, kind of regrouping. What happens next? I know that school's off. They don't. I think you said staff comes back Tuesday, and then students are back Wednesday. So what do we do now? Like, what happens now?
So on the front end, you will see again a larger police presence. The superintendent has made decisions to bring in other school leaders into the campus, as well as additional staff, so that we can increase our presence, so that we can establish a stronger presence around checking the schools and providing support to the school. At the same time, while we're doing that, we will, again, going back to the drawing board and look at what else can we do better? The buzzers on the doors, right? And then if that happens, how do we react to it? You know, most of y'all know I served 30 years, almost 30 years with the Dallas Police Department. But part of the reason why we never went to ShotSpotter, unlike Chicago, is because we don't have the density, but we didn't have the police officers to go respond, because Chicago does that when you're immediately there. So we got to put those protocols in place that if that buzzer goes off, we need to be there within a minute. And that may mean a teacher coming out of a classroom. And I'm just trying to give you details of how we would react faster so we can see. Those are things we do. Yes, ma'am.
And so with regard to like immediately, like today, our support departments are gathering together with regard to what do we need to do also to support staff when they're returning on Tuesday. And so everyone from both on the school leadership side, from our mental health side, we will absolutely have additional staff members. Our chief of police alluded to the number of doors, and I don't remember off the top of my head the number of doors, but there are, because you'll have one entrance. I know you all have all the angles, like one entrance has 8 side-by-side doors, right? But when we collectively yesterday at our first debrief with all the team members, there are actually 13 entrances, if you will, with the multiple doors. So we will be putting 13 additional staff members from now until the end of the school year at each of those entrances, so that I can guarantee that another student cannot open one of these doors from the inside and let anyone unauthorized in. So that's one of the things that we'll be doing. But we also want, the staff needs to be a part of that conversation, needs to be a part of helping us. So I just want to make sure that I made that clear. And we'll go back to some others. Oh. Sí, como sabemos que era un estudiante que dejó una puerta que estaba cerrada. How do I say locked, really? Con llave y lo abrió de adentro. Hay 13 lugares, hay muchas más puertas, pero hay 13 lugares donde alguien puede entrar al edificio. Vamos a poner personas del Distrito Central. Del resto del año voy a poner 13 personas en cada uno de esos lugares para que de este momento en adelante un estudiante u otra persona no puede dejar que una persona entre de afuera. Eso le puedo garantizar que eso no va a poder pasar para el resto del año.
I'm going to go Larry. I'm going to Larry Collins and then this gentleman here on this side. Larry Collins and right here. Thank you. Larry first, please. Yes.
Yes, sir.
We do understand they could face prosecution as well. But where are you in identifying that student? Has that student been identified? Have they been interviewed? What can you tell us about that process?
The student that opened the door specifically has been identified through school leadership. Our detectives are actually reaching out today, if they haven't already, to conduct an interview.
I have this gentleman here and then we'll go to Lori.
Just to clarify, police presence will be increased. Is that permanent or just next week? Do we know the kind of weapon? And what was the timeline for him being inside?
Yes, sir. So we'll be there through the rest of the school year. Again, this is to put that presence forward, and then we'll circle back and see how else we can do better, right? We are waiting on the state funding, as you all are aware, and our superintendent's been very active in that. In and out, 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes. And the weapon for what we received yesterday was a .40 caliber weapon. No, ma'am.
Lori and then here and here.
A couple questions. Were the students that were hit targeted or does it appear to be random?
I won't get into the details of that, but we do believe he went in there specifically targeting an individual, and that's as deep as we'll go without.
And do you know at this time if the student who opened the door, was he just trying to, somebody's out, did he know, was he an accomplice?
Right. That's what we're investigating. How deep is the culpability there? Yes, ma'am.
Sir, after last year's incident, you did an after-action review. Did that after-action review identify these 13 entrances around the school as a potential vulnerability? And did you take action then about this?
We did, in that we were very aware that there's multiple doors. You look at all our schools, right? Any high school or middle school, everybody has a lot of doors. What we consider, again, was doing the constant sweeps and checking the doors, making sure that they remain locked. We recognize that we cannot be posted at those doors or those different sets of doors all the time. But now with this incident, we go back and say, okay, what else can we do? That's our responsibility to our students and to our faculty and to our community.
Will you add, though, that what we did do is we have cameras at each
Yes.
of those?
Yeah, so we did upgrade our cameras. Thank you, Superintendent. We did upgrade our cameras, and we also have a security operations center that we also use to help us in these incidences or to monitor.
And that's because of last year.
Yes, yeah. Well, part of that in the bond package, and that has helped us tremendously because it's got artificial intelligence in it as well, like most cameras nowadays.
Right here.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, do you know where the suspected shooter got the gun and will his parents face any repercussions?
If the investigation reveals that they have some type of culpability to providing that weapon, they will face charges, but we do not know where that weapon came from. Mándeme. Creemos que entró con esa decisión que estaba buscando a alguien, pero es parte de la investigación, no puedo avisarle más de eso. Y en parte es de tener otra presencia grande de la policía, pero también de, como dice, más maestros y administradores de la escuela. Yeah.
We're going to just take a few more questions. I'm going to go to here, and I see your hand in the back.
Yes, sir.
A los tiempos de respuesta, una testigo nos dijo que hizo posiblemente la primera llamada al 911, pero que no le creían, pensaban que era una broma, hasta que le pasó a su maestra. ¿Qué tiene que hacer un estudiante para que le crea en este momento?
Pues en eso no debe que pasar. Cuando alguien le habla al 911, es necesario que la operadora o operador tome esa llamada y que comiencen a hacer preguntas, que hagan las preguntas para determinar qué es lo que está pasando.
So some students are also saying that the clear backpack protocol and other things aren't being followed. Sometimes when they go to the metal detectors, they're not actually looking in their backpacks. And again, have we confirmed that the student already had a knife on him when he came to school?
We cannot confirm that. This is the first that I've heard of that. but we will be looking into it, and we'll again review our videos and see.
Saying that the clear backpack and other protocols aren't being followed.
That's being looked at as well, but that will be an administrative process.
Right here, so are you confirming that the student was already at the school earlier in the day?
I cannot confirm that. No, man, we'll have to review the video to see if he was actually there.
Okay, we're this gentleman here, and we'll 3 more questions, and that's it right here, and we'll close out.
In your professional opinion, was this preventable?
It's a good question. I don't know that it was preventable. When somebody puts their mind to it, and we're doing everything that we can, I mean, it's probably best preventable that that door wasn't open. Again, student may not have any criminal culpability in it, right? But that's why we have it in the student code of conduct and such. Sometimes when there's a will, there's a way, but it's our job to try to defeat that. You know. Yes, sir.
Follow up the same question asked a different way. Is there anything unique about Wilmer Hutchins High School where what happened on Tuesday? Any school across the larger district that you may have to look at?
No, but again, David, as you know, I've served almost those 30 years with Dallas Police Department. Our community there goes through a lot. And this is our obligation to them, to protect them, to safeguard, to make it a safe haven. I mean, there's a lot of good students there, really. The programs that are offered there, the college career, military readiness, so many of those students are there just for an education and to elevate themselves, just like we want, and we want for our own children. And that's our obligation. That's what we're focused on. And those those few bad apples, it's our job to be surgical and precise, but our mental health programs are robust. And that's really where the fight is. It's in that mental health and the socioeconomic services that we provide along with other entities. That's how we prevent school shootings. We got to connect. You know, one of the theories out there, or maybe it's reality, the way we prevent school shootings is by having a student that can connect to at least one person, whether it's a teacher, a police officer, another student, a football team member, or a chess club member, anything, so that they feel connected. And that's where the bottom line is for us, not just the law enforcement side, but through our school leadership and police department. What's unique about this police department compared to Dallas Police, where I served, was so we have an opportunity to do much more, and that's what we've been working on.
We're gonna do this last question here.
Yes, sir.
Chief, in the immediate aftermath, we talked to students who said that their teachers leapt into action immediately, blocking doors, telling them to hide in the corner, and saying that they would stand in front of their students if the gunman came into their classroom.
Absolutely.
What do you think hearing that, and are teachers trained to do that?
Yes, sir. We go through that training every year. We talk about it. We have the Raptor alert. We have all these protocols. That is key because in a real sense, they are the first responder, right? I mean, we did have a police officer on campus and a public safety officer, and they have a job to do. But our teachers, as you said, will do everything they can. Again, we have amazing teachers, amazing staff, but they are part of that front line, and it's our obligation to them to not only keep them safe, but to train them when things like this happen.
Let me just say some closing words. This is, certainly all the questions you all are asking. I hope you all recognize those are the very same questions that we ask ourselves. And it is absolutely tragic when the students, overwhelming majority of our students who show up every day at this school are working so that one day maybe they can be who you are. So they can be a reporter, so they can be a teacher, so they can be a fireman, a police officer. And our students, there are some students who are dealing with a lot of things outside of the school. And we also know that it is still our responsibility to do our very best. Those doors, I just need to reiterate, those doors by law have to be able to be opened from the inside, because you all would be right back here if some other tragedy occurs and those doors were not able to be opened and kids and adults needed to exit. So
the truth, I'm a little irritated. So why don't they know this? Like, I get it. Because, see, I'm listening to this, and my thing is this. I think that school, being as though that school was involved in a shooting last year, I think they are taking precautions. I think they did what they were supposed to do. Now, what you can't do is like, somebody let that guy in that school. He did not just walk into the school. Somebody let him in. Why do these people not know that you cannot lock those doors from the inside?
And you can't have someone monitoring that door 24 hours a day or during the school day. They just don't have enough people. The resource, he walks around, he does, but he can't be. That's like saying, why wasn't the cop here when I got robbed? Well, how is the cop to know that you were going to get robbed?
Right.
Why does it? Why? How would that cop know to be right here, right now, while you're getting?
And they don't have, listen, some of these schools, and I don't know anything about this school. All I know about this school, other than what happened here recent, is that something like this happened last year. We may even do a live where we talk about the shooting that happened last year, because I do have a video on that too as well. But what I'm saying is this: some of these schools are doing listen, I have my gripes. I have some gripes when it comes to public schools, right? Some, but as far as with a situation like this, I just don't like when people try to place fault or blame where it is none. Like, they listen, some of these schools barely have qualified teachers. The schools are overcrowded a lot of times. Children are there to learn, teachers are there to teach. Whoever else, the principals that do their job, the cafeteria workers that do their job, like, they don't have anybody. They barely got security. And if we didn't have kids around here shooting up the schools, we wouldn't need it to be like, police everywhere. But there's no way that every door in every school can be monitored at all times. And if the doors are locked from the outside, you would think the danger is on the outside, not on the inside. So having the doors locked from the outside is what's being done, right?
This time next year, you won't even have a police officer in those schools. There won't be enough money to pay for a police officer to be in that school. The way things are being cut and things are being pulled back.
And that's another thing. They're not factoring in it is asinine to think like these schools are barely up and running. Like, it takes money for all this stuff. Like, I'm so sad about what happened. But if I was to know that person was just able to walk into that school without being let in from the inside, then maybe I would feel different. But being as though the doors were locked, they were doing what they were supposed to do, and a child let that person in. Otherwise, that person wouldn't have never got in.
Well, now first off, it's very easy to put little alarms on the door that if that door is opened for any reason, the alarm will go off. It will be sounded. That's just one easy thing to put. Like stores have it. If you open this door, an alarm is going to go off. But
what if it's open what if it's open for some? Well, okay, so don't that cost money too as well?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They don't have the money to put that on every single door. And according to policies and things, there has to be so many doors in the school exiting to the outside. So when they build a school, they can't just say there's only one door. They have to have so many emergency exits throughout the school per every square foot of the school. Also goes by how many kids are in the school. You have to have X amount of exits for this many children in the school.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a second floor, again, they have to have a landing on each floor that goes outside where you don't have to go downstairs. These are all things that cost
money. Come on now.
Cameras,
schools are barely running.
They may have cameras that monitor doors, but who is sitting there watching the cameras? You'd have to
They
pay
don't
that
have
person.
people to do that. Like I say, they barely got, some schools barely got enough staff to do what needs to be done as far as teaching the kids. At this point, so much is being placed on safety and all this other crap that people, what about teaching the kids? You know what I'm saying? If you got the teacher standing at the damn doors all day, it's ridiculous. It's just, it's bad.
It's only going to get worse if they do vouchers. If they do vouchers to where you can send your kid to well, that's a whole nother subject that I can laugh about. But if they do introduce vouchers for kids to go to private school, now that money that was going to that public school is now taken out and sent over here to this private school.
I don't know nothing about no vouchers. I know my three brothers went to private school. My mama paid for that shit, and my grandbaby's in private school, and we pay for that shit. So
Yes, and the voucher, and I laugh because people are like, well, I'm gonna send my kid. No, you're not. That voucher won't even pay a third of what you're paying to go to that private school. And don't think you're going to get a scholarship. Yeah, if you could play basketball, football, you could run track, you could play baseball, you could play whatever sport you want. If you could do all those things, you might get a scholarship. But that little $2,200 that goes to the school because of your taxes ain't paying for that private school. Private schools run upward of $3,000 to $4,000 per semester. There ain't a private school around here you gonna pay $2,200 a year. Not in Texas. That's all I'm saying. But you're taking money from our public schools, and then you cry when these things happen. You cry when the teachers are teaching 40 kids in a class. And then you're saying, well, my son doesn't get any attention. Well, damn it, there's 39 other students in there. How come the teacher didn't know? How is the teacher supposed to know? That's all I'm saying. If you're tired of all these things happen, schools need money.
absolutely,
To do half the things that you want to do.
absolutely.
You can talk all you want, but all them doors ain't. Now, the thing that you would get mad at the school system for is if that door was broke and they could just walk right in, then you get mad at the school system. But that door wasn't broke.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. Like I would feel differently about this if that person was just able to walk into that school, and the doors were not locked.
Exactly.
The doors were locked.
But
Right.
there's something interesting that the police officer said. Our job is to go in there and neutralize the threat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This was not what it used to be. It used to be we need to assess the situation before we go in.
Mhm.
Now, because of Duval, Texas, where 22 students were killed, and the police sat outside and waited until someone of a higher rank came to told them what to do.
Oh, I remember that. Oh my God. Now that was crazy.
Now the protocol is you get there, you go in.
Absolutely.
How many schools the officer assigned to the police is sitting out in the parking lot looking around?
Absolutely.
No, bitch, you're taught to run to the fire, not away.
Come on. That was crazy. Like, yeah.
I don't care what kind of gun he got. I don't care what kind of gun I got.
That's your job. That's what you signed up for.
Exactly. You know what the kids don't have? A bulletproof vest. But you know what? 9 times out of 10, there ain't a police officer out here that doesn't have an AR-15 sitting in his trunk.
Come on.
A combat helmet and full bulletproof vest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If that person is shooting at you, officer, he is not shooting at the children. If he's barricaded in a room, then you need to figure out how you go get in that room the safest way.
Absolutely.
I don't know very many schools that don't have windows on the outside looking in.
Yep. All right, we got like 5 minutes left on this, and then we're going to get into the last one we're going to talk about today. All right, here we go.
There are certainly many things that, again, we will go back and we will look. This is an instance where someone something they were intent on doing, was not random in terms of the intent. And again,
starting to act
the
up, y'all.
culpability of the other individual that created the vulnerability is still under investigation. Our teachers, I also heard from our students, from our parents, and how the teachers immediately did their protocols, put the doors on lock, put the kids behind their desks, and stood in front. Those teachers did all of that to ensure that all of the students were safe, and that puts themselves at risk. So there is nothing that the district member wishes we could figure out. If we knew exactly how to solve this problem, we would solve it. It's going to take all of us. And yes, there are absolutely things we could do better. Please note that the first thing that we did was ensure that the kids that were injured were rendered aid immediately, and that we were sweeping the school to ensure that the shooter was no longer there. Was it only one shooter? It's very, very complex. And we appreciate your all's patience. We want to give accurate information. We want to be transparent. You all have experienced with other recent events what happens when information gets out that isn't accurate. And so it's very, very challenging to try to get as much information to you as possible. And this is a very, very heavy feeling for everyone. But I also want us to remember it cannot be heavier for any of us than it is for our families, for our students, and for the staff of that school. They have endured. And so we're going to put additional staff members there, from central office staff members to additional police presence. And I want to reiterate, since there are 13 different avenues of multiple doors, we will have staff that will be there for the last 23 school days throughout the entire day. It's not just going to be when the students arrive. They will be there the entire time that the school is in session, so that this one vulnerability that we now see, we can do something about that from now until the end of the school year. And we also know it's something we're going to have to consider, that the entire state, the entire country has to consider at every single school, because Wilmer Hutchins is not unique in terms of how many doors you have. So thank you very much.
Thank you. At this time, we won't take any further questions. We're going to wrap, but we appreciate you for coming out, and thank you again for your patience and understanding. Feel free to reach out to our team members who, if you have additional questions, will be standing by to help provide clarity as needed. Thank you so much.
All right. That was it on that. So that's the update on the they didn't talk much about the suspect though. This is the suspect.
They're covering their asses.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. I noticed that what we just watched, and the little clips that I've been watching all morning. They don't talk much about him or why or whatever, but they basically doing what you call damage control, which I don't think is necessary, but I guess it is necessary, because that's the questions that people are asking, like, how could this happen? And so I get it. But I guess that we'll have more when we come back on him.
Yeah, I mentioned
About,
earlier.
hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find the next.
Who's heading there to the scene?
Hold on.
Is that you guys?
Stop it.
Joby Puneker is now there live at
Hold
Wilmer
on, let
Hutchins
me
High
get
School.
it.
Joby.
My computer does what it wants to do. But yeah, so that's the update on the Dallas school shooting, y'all. Next we're going to get into, so this one right here, it's just, oh my God, I wish I hadn't kind of looked at it a little bit while it was going on, but it actually was going on while we were watching the live coverage of the FSU shooting. Carmelo parents have come out and done a press conference.
Bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. I'm about to black out on this video.
Give me a second, y'all. I'm pulling it up. So we're gonna listen to that next. Let's see. I do want to say though, before we listen to it, Why did I pull? I pulled up the wrong one. Hold on, y'all. But I do wanna say before we get into this next portion, all prayers are for everybody involved in all of these stories that we're covering. Prayers are for the Metcalf family as well. They did funeralized Austin on Saturday. I haven't seen anything. I've been looking as far as that. I got a little clip of showing people going into the church. But hi, Lucius, how you doing? It's good to I know how you doing, but it's good to see you. Let me see what you said. Let me go to my comments. Hold on. Out my sis tap in. Can't stay with catch the replay. So much going on. The news media's LSU court and community. Love y'all and appreciate you all. Absolutely, Lucius. We love you too. We love you too, girl. And we're praying so hard for your family. Okay? Whenever you get a chance, reach out. I know you're doing a lot because I know you. I know you. I know that you are doing the absolute most because that's how you are when it comes to family. And I know you're very busy. That's why you dropping in today means a lot. So we love you. Stay strong. And as far as what I can do, I'm doing it. I'm gonna keep talking about this, shedding light on it. And we love you, sis. You be safe. And we're praying for your family. All right, y'all. Let me pull up. Thank y'all for the prayers for Lucius. I appreciate it. And her family. Let me see. All right. Oh yeah. So yeah, we're sending up prayers, like I say, for all involved. Carmelo's family, Austin's family, just for at this time strength. When I pray for families that's going through stuff like this, I just pray for their strength. Because I know it takes a lot. I pray for their peace, which it's hard to have peace when you're going through stuff like this. But you know, I just pray. But all right, let me pull this up. Carmelo's mom looks so young. Well, actually, his parents look young. Period to me. But his mom looks like a little girl to me. So this is what is his name again? And is it something Emmanuel? This is the representative, the family representative that we were speaking about, and I'm gonna get his title right. I'm gonna get because he's part of an organization. I'm gonna get that right too. But he's their representative. He speaks for them. He's not their lawyer. He's not a lawyer. And that's Carmelo's mom and dad. Yeah. So let's get into it, y'all. I will say this, just to give y'all a little disclaimer. At 3:00, which I'm not, I might be able to cover it. If I get off of here on time, I just end this and come back and play it live. I'll stream it. There's gonna be a press conference talking about the FSU shooting. So it's gonna be a press conference updating us on the FSU. And what I might do, because I got some things to do, but I can always just play it. I can always just stream it. I'm going to end this live, and then if I decide to, I'll come back and I will play that. I will stream that. If not, we'll cover that when we come back talking about that particular incident. All right. All right. So let's get into this.
I want to start off this press conference to say something as a deep note that I can tell America. What we've seen at the beginning of this press conference of the father being at this press conference, these are my words, don't quote anybody, is a disrespect to the dignity of his son. Next Generation Action Network from the beginning has respected the loss of life. No matter our opinion of it, we have kept our opinion close. We have not attacked. We have not shared.
Dominique, that's it. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, baby.
About Austin Metcalf, because we respect.
You're welcome, Lucius. We got you.
Life and loss. And as a minister, I would not attack a grieving family, even if I disagree with them. When I have stood before this podium for people who have died at the hands of law enforcement, I have asked for that same manner of respect. And even when the shoe is on the other foot, I will not do that. And all I'm going to say, so it don't be asked later, is that was disrespectful and just shows you all the character. Who is not invited, he knows that it's inappropriate to be near this family, but he did it. And so I say to people, actions speak louder than words, okay? What he has failed into is the political operatives that want to make this thing a political thing of hate, yet bigotry, and yet racism. We have conservative operatives that have been posting nonstop about this case. It is outright disrespectful. We haven't been doing it. The Next Generation Action Network has been here, popular and unpopular. So regardless of what's going on, that was disrespectful. Disrespectful. And I will leave it to y'all to define it. But of course we want to. Y'all, I'm Minister Dominique Alexander. I serve as the president of the Next Generation Action Network. Today I come before you with a heavy heart, but determined in spirit, not just as an advocate, but as a Black man, as a father, as a protector, in community, and children. There are 4 critical points I must address today, and I want to make sure that the public and the media and everyone who believes in truth and justice. First, the misinformation about the fund. From the very beginning, there was an intentional disinformation surrounding the fund created in the support of the Anthony family. The Carmelo Anthony Fund, hosted by Give, Send, Go, let's be clear, the family has not received one dime. Any of the media could have verified this, but we saw on Twitter, we saw on Facebook, and so many different things of the false lavish life of this family. $800,000 home, purchase Escalade, in private security. Let me make this very clear. The Next Generation Action Network has always had a security detail. Many of you that know us in the Dallas and Fort Worth media know that we have our own security detail. One of the individuals that escorted Carmelo Anthony out of jail is here present with us now. They are a part of the Next Generation Action Network security team. The family hasn't hired any private contractors or whatever, or splurged or whatever. But if they have the audacity to spend money for their safety and security, that's their prerogative. The family has not withdrawn, and just until recently, just yesterday, they were officially notified by Give, Send, Go that they could start the withdrawal process. But if anybody know about this process, they know that that takes about 2 to 3 days to withdraw from that and actually hit any account. But this blatant propaganda wasn't just about the fund. It was to discourage the public from giving to the fund. That's what this was about. Because just like TMZ was able to call, Give, Send, Go, everybody in the media, in these news outlets that I've never heard before could have did the same thing. When I first called Give, Send, Go, they gave me every information that I needed. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say on regards to that. let me make this very clear. This family never authorized a single fund on the GoFundMe platform. All of the funds that were raised on the GoFundMe were all fraud. All of the funds that was raised on that platform were fraud, okay? The family was the first to report these funds. One of the funds we identified raised up to 11,000. So a post about anything that stated that GoFundMe took everything down regarding Carmelo Anthony, that was at the request of the families and their supporters. This family never tried to create an account on GoFundMe. The Next Generation Action Network is very well aware of the company's policy regarding raising funds for legal defense, okay? Since this tragedy unfolded, the Anthony family has been subject to unimaginable amount of hate, racism, threats to their safety. People have sat outside their house, sent objects delivered to their door, publicly harassed, online and in person. This is not just about Carmelo. It's about the family who dared to stand and demand justice and in return and receive ugliness that racism in this country still breeds. But let me say this loud and clear. We are not scared. We are not moving. We will not be silent. What I've always said as the president of the Next Generation Action Network, we will never ask the oppressor for permission to liberate our people. We will not ask for permission to stand up for the rights of our children. The Next Generation Action Network has stood on both sides of the fence in ensuring that justice is served. Now, getting to the information that the Next Generation Action Network wanted to share with the public today. And I will go ahead and pass it over to the mother and once I make this statement, okay? All right, there's two more final. For the last week and a half, the Next Generation Action Network has engaged in communications with Frisco ISD to ensure that Carmelo Anthony's due process is not violated. We know that in the state of Texas, there are things that are discretionary things and decisions by the leadership of Frisco ISD, right? There are clear guidance in the state and education code regarding expulsion of a student. We have asked several times, we didn't just rush, we have had these conversations over the last several days, and we have stated that it is just outright wrong to get involved in this. Carmelo Anthony doesn't have to walk. He doesn't have to involve in any senior activities, but Carmelo Anthony is a 3.7 GPA student. And if he doesn't even go to class for the remainder of the year, he would graduate, okay? We've asked that Frisco do not make a decision in this situation. But Frisco ISD has notified of their intent to expel Carmelo Anthony from school 1 month before his high school graduation. That just shows me that Frisco ISD is trying to push off the blame. And what I have not heard the media say, as many media outlets have asked us what went on, I'm trying to find how many of y'all have asked the superintendent or one single board of trustees, why didn't you cancel or postpone? With weather in that magnitude, you couldn't have a track meet in rain or thunderstorm or clouds. Y'all are the media. Ask your journalists, your weather journalists, how the weather was that day and that time. Y'all do that research. Because as a person who is the administrator of your children, you are responsible for the safety of the children. And so it seems as if Frisco ISD is trying to push this off by making this decision that they do not have to make. So the Next Generation Action Network, outside of the legal process, will be going through different avenues regarding to ensure that we fight for the rights of Carmelo Anthony, okay? So in the next coming days, we will be announcing to the public. We will do direct action outside of Frisco ISD administration office. because this is outright wrong. You are getting involved in a process that even the legal process has asked us to respect. And we're asking you to do that same thing. You do not have to get involved in this situation. But it seems that even with us going and meeting or having conversations, they have made their mind up. And we want to make sure that the records, that we talk truth to power in regards. I wanted to lay this out to ensure, because of the sensitivity of this case, there are so many moving factors that I have to explain so that this family does not have to explain. Let me say this about the 4th, and let me repeat this so that you guys can go to the Frisco Police Department. The reason why the family or me or anybody with direct knowledge of this cannot talk about the particulars of what happened in that tent. I know you know this is all law. It's because if anybody tell you there was an adult near or inside or whatever, this current investigation knows nothing about that. Everybody involved at this point of our knowledge are minors. In the state of Texas, you know we cannot release or talk about minors. So stop asking us the question. Stop. It's no, we can't even do it if we wanted to, okay? We can't talk about it. So don't ask. There is a court of law that will express everything, will lay out everything. We can't talk about it if we wanted to, okay? So make it clear. Go back, confirm with Frisco Police Department. Go back, confirm with the district attorney. Even in the bond hearing, you didn't see a single thing said about people that was indirect, they're minors. Okay, so stop. The social media, stop. I haven't saw not one person single-handedly get this right in the public. They're minors, y'all. Just stop. We can't. Don't send another inquiry to NGAN inbox, do this, all of that. That's the reason why we felt like it was important to do this press conference today. We can't talk about it. So if you ask me, I'm just going to look at you, okay? So I'm telling the world, everybody know the state law. I'm not creating it. We can't talk about it. This family can't talk about it. I can't talk about it. Nobody, unless you want to be sued. You release one of those 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds and 17-year-olds name, the law of this land tells you what was going to happen to you, okay? So don't ask that question. Finally, in regards to this judge, I do not know Judge Angela Tucker. I've never met her, never known her, never been nowhere near her court. Don't know anything about her until we were notified that she was going to hear the writ. But the ugly attacks on her just shows Black America that no matter what you pick in the ballot box, and that is your constitutional right, it's people out here reminding us of the Black struggle in America. This woman is a registered Republican, has been for years. She put herself through school, she raised her family, she did everything. I'm a registered Democrat, proud. I'm the chair of the Dallas County Democrat Resolutions Committee. I don't know that woman. And to call her leftist is just downright. The bond that was given is according to law and consistency with practice. If Aaron Dean can get a $300,000 bond when he killed a Tatiana Jefferson, Carmelo Anthony can get a $250,000. If Amber Geiger can get a $200,000 bond when she kills Botham Jud in his own home, he can get a $250,000. If Roy Oliver can get a $250,000 bond after he kills Jordan Edwards, all white officers, why couldn't Carmelo Anthony be entitled, a child with no background, no criminal background, no endangerment to the community, none whatsoever, be placed on a ELM and brought home? Please help me understand. Make this make sense. It's consistency, it's consistent with practice. After this, y'all, so that we'll know, this will be our final press conference until this trial. We will not speak to the media again after this, okay? Don't ask for comment, question, or whatever it is. The actions that the Next Generation Action Network take on Frisco ISD will be separate from the legal process because we want to make sure that Carmelo Anthony's due process. This is going to be a jury case. And then let me make this very clear. This is a case that has not even been indicted. So under the guise of Texas law, it's not even really proceeding to a trial yet because it has not even went through a grand jury to be indicted. We don't know if a grand jury will indict or not. We don't know. That's in the district attorney's hands, okay? And their legal team is preparing a packet for those things, and we will not be talking about the legal process regarding this case, okay? So after today, I just want the media to know, and I want the public to know, I don't care what you say about me. I've been in this thing for 11 years. I am tried, tested, and proven. I'm gonna just say, I'm from Oak Cliff. Worser things have been said about me, baby. You don't gotta inbox me, you ain't gotta tell me. I am the first person to tell my testimony. I don't have to prove anything to nobody. I am a proven testimony standing here that God, even when you make mistakes, God is not finished with your story. I'm gonna bring this mother, Kayla Hayes, and it has taken her a lot of strength, y'all, to come and do this today. And I want you guys to respect her as she read this and giving her the respect that she deserves, y'all.
Good afternoon. My name is Kayla Hayes. I am the mother of Carmelo Anthony. 3 years ago, my family moved to North Texas, searching for a better life. Like so many other families, we wanted to give our children the future we did not have. My husband worked hard every single day to provide for us, to make sure we're in the best financial position possible. As a stay-at-home mom, I made it my life's mission to ensure our children are loved, nurtured, and supported every step of the way. In wake of this tragic incident, our family has been under attack. Whatever you think what happened between Carmelo and the Metcalf boys, my 3 younger children, my husband, and I didn't do anything to deserve to be threatened, harassed, and lied about. The lies and false accusations that have been said about us, especially over the past week, has been overwhelming. The lies and their amplification put my family in danger, as well as everyone in our community, everyone involved in the investigation, from the police, the attorneys, and the court staff. Our address and my husband's previous employer's address has been put on all social media platforms. My husband had to take a leave of absence because he's afraid what may happen to our family. His mental health is deteriorating day by day. We have endured death threats. My 13-year-old daughter is afraid to sleep in her own bedroom because she's fearful of what might happen to her. And let me be clear, the claims that were used about the public donation to buy a home or anything else are completely false. We have not received a single dime from the Give, Send, Go fundraiser. And the co-founder has stated that clearly. In the reality, we were just notified yesterday that we could begin to withdraw funds. And it still takes several days to receive those funds once a request is made. I don't know why we are being targeted and discriminated against before a fair trial. Our son deserves the same rights under the law that everyone is afforded to. He's been raised in a 2-parent home with structure, stability, love, and we put God first in everything that we do. We believe in the Constitution, we believe in the laws of this state, but those laws must apply to all of us, not just some of us. To be clear, we will not speak publicly about specific details of what happened under the tent on that rainy and awful day. There's an active investigation that everyone involved wants to be full and fair. We believe in the legal process, and that is where the truth will come out. To the family who experienced the loss, my heart truly goes out to you. To those who have supported my family, thank you from the bottom of our hearts. We ask for your continued support, patience, and prayers as we navigate this difficult process. Thank you.
Y'all, I'm gonna show something up of a post. You come for me, I come for you. Sarah Fields, never heard of this woman. This is the kind of despicable things that led to the father being here. Political operatives motivating this family with hate. Carmelo Anthony posted on something that shows, posted here. These are the type of lies that are threatening this family. Posting the family's picture. These are the type of lies. She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah, she's even came after me. She's even said all of those things. And now that the public knows exactly what is going on, I ask, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy, he should be afforded the same rights that Cal Rittenhouse had, Daniel Penna, and all of the people who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Cal Rittenhouse with an AK-47 shooting 3 people in the back. We got that. And he raised more than $2 million publicly, and nobody said anything. So since they tried to come for us, I call for the community's overwhelming support for this fund. The disinformation that was put out was literally deliberate to prevent you from helping this family. And I want you to give overwhelming support to show them the community united can never be divided. And I'm gonna say this again, and this is for everybody. Black people in America, while the current occupant sits at 1600 Pennsylvania, Black people in America don't have to pull the race card. It's what we live as a reality every day. It's what we have to teach our children. We don't want to, but we have to. We don't like to, but if we want to sleep at night, we got to. I ain't pulling no race card, I live it. I'm reminded all the time that I'm a Black man in America. And what y'all just showed to Judge Tucker is just reminded that hate and bigotry and racial reconciliation in this country, we have respected the process. I believe that Austin Metcalf is about to have his funeral. And I wouldn't dare, even with the information I know, and plenty of people can share that and all that, but we have prevented from speaking about that in these type of public forums. It will come out. They have a more than well-capable attorney, and this family will go through a process of being able to get prepared for this trial. So I just say this real quick. This is our final time speaking to public and holding a press conference regarding this particular case. Now, the Next Generation Action Network will talk about Frisco ISD, but we will not do this. I will not ask this mother to do this again. The attorney will not. We won't do this again. Don't ask. We will see you at trial. Whatever venue that is, we will see you there. I stand 10 toes down supporting this family. And I want to thank all of the community leaders and people that I have seen that have came here today. Bishops and pastors and clergy, community leaders with respectability in this community. I see them today. And I want to thank them for their presence because this family needs strength right now. Thank you and God bless you.
I'm back.
Okay. All right, y'all. So that's gonna be it for today. But let me say this before we get out. So we all as parents know, and I'm specifically speaking about the case of Carmelo Anthony and Kyron Lacey. Even with the young man who shot the school up in Dallas, okay? Even when it comes to Austin Metcalf, we all as parents know that we do our best, we raise our kids, we teach our kids, we nurture, we provide for our kids. I don't think that any parent that's of sane mind would teach their child on how to become a killer. Now, we as parents also realize that our children are human, just like us, right? And they're gonna make mistakes. Like, we as parents make mistakes. So how do we expect our kids not to make mistakes, right? I get that. I get that. Me as a parent, I can identify with that. You know, I raised my kids, I taught my kids, I provided, I nurtured, I did, you know, the best I could with what I had, right? And my children, including my son who's no longer here, made mistakes. I made mistakes. When it comes to this particular case, and even with Kyron, it's so sad that, and see, these are young men, right? These are young men that when it comes to what's going on with them or what went on with them, it turns into something more evil than what it actually was, right? What I mean by that is it's a shame that the times that we're living, in with the fucked up leadership that we have now here today is the reason why a lot of this stuff is happening on social media. I'm just saying, like, the focus is being taken off the true issues, the true tragedy of what happened, and it's being placed on other things such as race. Kyron Lacey and Carmelo Anthony, they made a mistake. And when I say that, this is what I mean. I mean, Kyron Lacey didn't get in his car that day intending on taking a life. I don't believe that. I don't believe that when Carmelo Anthony went to that track, he intended on taking a life. We as parents know that our kids make dumb decisions. They do. They do. The children, they make mistakes. They make dumb decisions. And they have to deal with the consequences. We all have to deal with our consequences. But I think it's just so unfair. See, let me tell you something about that mother. Those parents, right? They're not only dealing with the fact that their son made this horrible mistake. He took a life. He took a life. Whether he intended on doing it or not, he took a life, right? So they've got to deal with the legal aspect. They've got to deal with the personal things that's probably going on with them. But I tell you one thing, I know one thing that woman is, I know a lot of things she's dealing with, to be honest. Even though her son is still here, praise God. And my prayers go up fully for the Metcalf family who no longer has their son. But that woman, you can best believe, knows about the Lacey case as well, because just like her son is in the news, so is Kyron Lacey, right? And we know what happened with Kyron Lacey due to social media, the media, lies, things being put out, things being said, lies, just flat out lies. People focusing on everything but what is the true tragedy. People focusing on the money. People focusing on the race. People focusing on this, that, and the third. And like I said the other day, and like I will continue to say, the true tragedy is lost in the South. That mother is she's afraid. And that mother is afraid that her son, 17 years old, can end up making the same decision that Karen Lacey made. They're two in the same. Two young men who work hard to get where they are or were in life, as far as their academics, their sports, and things of that nature. I get it. I understand. I feel it. I felt it. I lived it, what the Metcalf family is going through. I honestly do. But the hate and the lies and the threats and the intimidation and everything else around it was going on, it's just so ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. It's sad. It's weak. I got a message while I was listening to this, and apparently, and we're gonna talk about it more when I go back live. Apparently, there's been some type of protest set up. Apparently, the people want Carmelo locked up until he goes to trial. They have an issue with the fact that he was able to be bonded out. So there's going to be a protest, which I don't know how that's going to work, because the law is the law. The young man was granted bond. It was paid. He's out. But there's a whole protest that's going to take place, I think at the school, if I'm not mistaken. Wait, hold on. I don't want to lie. Hold on. Let me look at my message. There's a whole protest that's going to take place, protesting the fact that this young man was able to make bond and get out. They want him locked up until court. Why? The other people that this guy named and other people that he did not mention, all these people were granted a bond. All of these people were granted bail. All of these people got out until they went to court. So why is it that Carmelo has to stay locked up until court? So it's going to be on April 19th, which I believe is Saturday, at the Wakefield High School parking lot, Frisco, Texas. Protect white Americans. Stop black violence on white Americans. Y'all know that's not going to be good. Like, I'm all for protesting. You know, I'm all for it. But y'all just pray for everybody involved in these cases that was discussing, because every last one of these families, including, you know, the shooter in the FSU case and in the Dallas case, their family needs prayer too. Because like I said, when your child or your children or your family member decides to make a mistake, that person is not the only one that deal with the consequences. The families does as well. You know what I'm saying? Hunter needs to tell the truth to avoid other craziness coming to play. Hunter knows exactly what took place. But see, Hunter ain't the only somebody who knows what took place. At this point, with an investigation going on, he's not the only somebody that knows. There's the other kids that were there. I think at this point, law officials, they pretty much know. I mean, you know, at this point though, it like we say, they're in too deep, Sonya. Like, even if that young man was to hold a press conference today, and I think that's my babies. Even if that man, he was to hold a press conference today saying this is what happened and just put it out there, which he can't. D-True, talk for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. So this protest is not going to be a pretty protest. There's going to be people from both sides there. There's going to be a lot of police presence. And I haven't gotten a phone call about this yet, because usually Frisco will ask other police departments and people in the area to help out. So I haven't got a phone, and that's so wait. that Wake High School is part of Frisco's ISD. So we'll see how that goes. But the people putting it on don't sound like it's a very loving. Let me see if I could find it. No, I don't see the flyer. But again, this is what people do. A lot of people don't understand that this is what they do. They find something to infiltrate so they can make it about them. It doesn't matter the facts. It doesn't matter who did it or what happened or what could. It's about pushing their agenda. And their agenda is to make this all about race. This is, for them, it's all about race. And that woman that the preacher was talking about is putting up all the lies and stuff like that on social media. Sue her. You could sue her. Sue her. That's the only way these people stop. That's exactly what happened with the school shooting in Connecticut. They sued the guy that was telling all the lies, and they won $1 billion. And even after he got sued, he continued to spew his lies because it was about an agenda for him. You see, his whole show was sponsored by ads for the world ending. You know, they had the MREs and the self-protections and all the things that you would need as a prepper. He sold all that stuff on his show. Those were the ads that were being played on his show. So he wanted to make it all believe. He wanted everyone to believe that the government was lying. Government's lying to you. They're hiding things. That never happened. Sandy Hook never happened. These are the things that he was spitting out, and people were believing it, and they were buying all the products that his show was pushing because he wanted people to believe that there was going to be this great civil war that was about to happen, and that the government wants you to believe that all these people go in there and do these things against you so he could push his survival gear. And he did. Sandy Hook was, I think, 10 years, maybe 20 years ago. Sandy Hook. When was Sandy Hook? Sandy Hook was a long time ago. 2012, over 10 years ago, Sandy Hook was. And he spewed those lies for most of the 10 years in order to push his agenda, to sell his product. They sued him and they won $1.5 billion. They sued Alex Jones for $1.5 billion. For spreading those lies. And he's on the hook to pay the $1.5 billion. So she could be on the hook too. Sue her. I don't care. She got $12 to her name. Sue her.
So this guy right here is I'm back. Thank you, D True, for holding it down. I appreciate it. So and I'm still listening to you. I want to hear I'm listening to what you're saying, but I got a question. So this guy that this woman that he's particularly talking about, this is one in particular woman. You know who she is?
I've heard her name before.
What's her name again?
He said it.
He said it, yeah.
Yeah, he said it. I'll go back. I'll go back and listen. But he said it, and she's supposedly the one on Facebook spreading all the lies.
That he can sue her, right?
Yes, he can.
Go ahead and talk. I'm listening.
Yeah,
I want to hear
she's on. She'll be just like Alex Jones. They sued him for
that guy, right?
Defamation. The defamation of the memory of their children. Yeah, Sarah
Right.
somebody. It's Sarah somebody. But again, you could sue her, and they could show in order to win a
Because the lies are blatant. Let me tell you how slow people are. Let me tell you how people just run with lies. The whole time people been saying that this family took that. First of all, if that money is donated to them, who is anybody to tell them how to spend it? The money was donated to them. You can't count anybody's pockets. You can't tell people what to do. But let's just set that aside, right? This how dumb people are. So the whole time these people are going live making videos saying this family took the go send me money or whatever that thing is to buy a house, to buy a car, to hire people. You can clearly go over there and look at the account and see that the money is still there. But you got people that's listening to it and running with it and constantly making videos and live streams saying, and that the family is using it for this, and that, and the third. But my thing is this: why the fuck do you care? Why is the money even an issue? A child is gone. Another child's life could be ruined. Why are you concerned about money and how it's spent? That's how you know these people don't care nothing about this tragedy. They don't care nothing about Carmelo. They don't care nothing about Austin. They don't. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, they could sue. They could sue her. They could sue her. In order to win a defamation lawsuit, you just have to show what has happened is what was being said is detrimental to your family and causing undue stress, causing you to lose money. And they could show that they lost because the husband cannot work right now, that they had to get up and move. And if they could associate the lies that she's telling to those things, they could easily sue her. I'm trying to see if I can find her, who she is. It is Sarah somebody. Sarah Jones. Wait, is that her name? Sarah
Find
Jones?
her Facebook page and send me the link. I'm gonna get on my. Find her. Not now. I mean, you don't have to do it now. Just whenever you find it.
No, I found some Daryl J. Harold Jr. post, but
It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. People do too much, and it's all just. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
and of course they're running with well GoFundMe deleted. No, GoFundMe deleted their
So it wasn't their account, according to him.
Yeah, they GoFundMe deleted because those were fraudulent accounts. Had nothing.
And the
to
family
do
reported
with them.
it.
Yes, had nothing.
Ain't nobody
to do
talking
with
about
them.
that though.
Oh no, because they wanted to be. Oh, GoFundMe can't got rid of their account. Yes, they got rid of their accounts because they told them they weren't their accounts.
That is crazy. See, that's people trying to make money. Like, come on, bro.
Well, I mean,
Come on.
you've had it happen to you.
Yes,
Corky did it to you. So
I know.
it's
I
not
know.
like it's not like it's not
And
happening.
see, that's what people don't realize about me. That's why this channel, everybody knows why I got this channel. Everybody knows this channel dedicated to my son. But a lot of people don't know that when I speak on certain stuff, a lot of stuff, mainly the stuff that I speak about on this channel, I speak from experience. I didn't just, you know what I'm saying? I speak from total experience. That's why this, and people just do too much. People do too much, and it's too many lies. And when you got social media and media period and ignoramuses, I thought my mama made that word up when she used to use it when we were children. Ignoramuses that don't do their own research, don't care about the facts, just listening to these crazy ass people out here. You get a Kyron Lacey. Okay, this is what happens. Let the court process take place. Stop doing this. And then too, it's such a double standard, D-True. That's what really gets me. They think this young man should sit in jail till he has court, but all these other people clearly.
Okay, I think I just found her on.
I'm proud of you today, Truth.
Huh?
I said, I'm proud of you today. All right now.
Oh, well, thank you.
Did you just wake up?
Fuck you, clown. No, I had just got baby petted from school, and I was reminded they out for Good Friday tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, right. So I think her name is Sarah Field, and it's Sarah is Censored, is the name of the page. She got a whole bunch of shit up here.
Yeah, send me the link. Send me the link. Yeah. But y'all, I gotta get off of here. I gotta do homework and eat shit out snacks because they walk in the door hungry. My grandbabies would not eat school lunch, and they take their own lunch to school, and then they come home and they be hungry. So I gotta do that, and then I also got another live. I'm probably gonna push back. But listen, I enjoyed y'all today. I did. Thank y'all for supporting this live stream. I so appreciate it. Shout out to those that support this channel. Y'all know how much it means to me. Go ahead, Trey.
What you eating for lunch? Pepe sandwiches? You eating Pepe sandwiches for lunch?
First of all, I ain't eating no lunch. I'm doing snacks for the kids. I don't know what you talking about, and I'm not eating no Pepe. Okay. Oh, okay. So I really appreciate y'all. Shout out to Moneyboy Trey. Shout out to D Truth. I love you, D Truth. Thank you so much. I'm going to say it one more time. I'm going to be severing these cases. I'm going to be covering each one of them on its own live stream, so I won't feel like I'm so overwhelmed as far as bringing the content. I'm going to bring the content. I'm just going to do it, one by one, because it's a lot. It's a lot, and we're covering like what at this point, D-True, 4 or 5? Is it 4? 4 or 5 cases? Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure which case I'm gonna come with tomorrow.
You know what I want you to do though?
What?
I want you to go up on Twitter. You have a Twitter account?
I don't.
Just use your Google. Your Google email address. Just log in on your Google email address.
Mm-hmm.
Just put in Carmelo Anthony.
You know what? The YouTube is overwhelming for me. I know Twitter is worse.
Twitter is I'm looking at. They got Tucker's picture up here calling her a bitch and everything else. Go ahead.
Answer me this, D Truth. on Twitter, do they have anybody that was there's phone footage of the altercation? Because I'm like baffled. In the age of cell phones, had none of these teens caught this shit on camera.
They're saying there is, and of course the white conservatives are saying it's going to vindicate Austin, and the black conservatives are saying it's going to show Austin was the one. It's conflicting. It's no one's seen it.
But nobody, I'm saying, but nobody put it out though.
No, they can't. They confiscated all the
put
phones.
out though. Like we can't go find it.
They confiscated all the unless somebody.
No, I'm
was
saying
live,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like when nobody live, you know how kids catch shit live. They don't just record. Them motherfuckers go live and get that shit.
Nobody's produced anything, but the police are saying they got it. And like I said, it doesn't have to be the video. It just got to be the audio. You just need to hear what is happening in the background. But they're saying they got it on video. Exactly. They if they have it, they keep it very quiet. But these people,
I so was wondering it myself, like, why
and that's weird. We ain't seen
from these damn teams.
We ain't seen nothing. I done seen videos of the Dallas shooter inside the school. You hear me? And we still ain't seen nothing on this. This is weird. It's weird. Well, not weird. I take that back. It's not. It's on purpose. You know what I'm saying? I think it's on purpose.
This motherfucker
that we ain't seen nothing.
This is
or heard nothing.
This is the bitch who dropped Carmelo Anthony's bond from 1 million to 250. Fucking black. That's what he put on Twitter. That's what he put on Twitter.
Well, no, she about to end it. I was about to say, you share your screen. Why you ain't share your screen, Clam?
We may do that on the. I don't even like to share that type stuff. I really don't. I mean, it's awful. I just really don't like sharing that type stuff. It's just ridiculous. It's sad.
Oh, also, I was about to say, stop crying and do your damn job. Talking about I'm severing content and it's getting too much in 2 stories. You like a black CNN, nigga, so what? They do 17 stories in an hour. Pennywise Grayson said hello.
Yeah, Sarah Fields.
It sounded like you was crying.
I was not.
Her name is Sarah.
Hi, Grayson.
What were you doing? Giving a consistent speech?
Fawn Bear, I asked him, you know I am Fawn Bear. And I'm hoping that it's gonna be televised because you know the bond hearing was not televised. So I don't know. I'm praying that it's televised, honestly. Yeah. You know I am, girl. All right, y'all gotta go. I can stay on here with y'all all day, but I actually gotta go over to the other channel, but I got some things to do before. So, like I said again, thank y'all so much for supporting this live stream today. I saw one in the chat. We love y'all too. We appreciate y'all supporting this. And yeah, prayers up for all families involved, y'all. All families, okay? With that being said, I love y'all.
Wait, I
do appreciate y'all so much.
I finally got an I love you. Oh, thank you. I never get the I love yous.
You don't tell you that all the time. Why are you doing this? Like, honestly. I'm gonna let you have it.
I got to send you something though. I'm gonna send it to you in a little bit.
Okay.
All
right, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all back here tomorrow, around about the same time. I think I do know what I'm gonna actually cover tomorrow, and that's that shooting that's happened. Yeah.
Oh,
what are you talking about, Trey?
Topic. Okay.
What?
on
this
channel.
channel. I got you.
Yeah, she's going live on Easter Sunday.
Saying.
True. What should I expect to see from the medical examiner's office and report? I'm not sure what it would include. Asking for my son. Oh, Candy, you're gonna see you're gonna know all the injuries that you're gonna know about all her injuries that she had. You're gonna know what was the injury that took her life. It's gonna be kind of detailed. It might even include photos. So I didn't listen. I don't have my sons. My daddy got it. I didn't read it. I just wanted to know in the beginning, before I saw him at the funeral home, was he? Listen, I basically what I wanted to know, because I didn't know at the time. I didn't know. I knew my son had been shot in the leg, but that's it. And he had two other. He had been shot 2 other times. I didn't know what those shots were. So my only question was he shot in the head? That's all I wanted to know. And when the funeral the guy told me no, that was all I wanted to know. But I know now where the 2 other places he was shot, but I haven't read the report. My dad has it. I don't have it. So, but I do know, according to my dad, it's detailed. That's all I could tell you. That's all I could tell you. I pray for you, Candy. I pray for you. Okay, I think that's it. Did you want to say something else?
No, ma'am. Thank you for the love.
You're welcome. I love y'all too, chat, and I appreciate y'all. Okay, I'll see y'all over in Superville. And
I was speaking to the chat.
Oh, sorry. All right, y'all be listen, y'all pray. Everybody pray, okay? And y'all be safe, be blessed, never stressed, even though life is stressful. Continue to send up prayers for our family.
Are you coming?
Continue to send up prayers for Candy and her family, Lucius and her family, all families involved. What's your question, Trey?
Are you coming back live in 27 minutes? Or that's just a myth?
Well, that was a plan. That I'll be back in about an hour. I'll be back in about an hour.
Okay, so she gonna be. Y'all should be back at 6 o'clock.
No, that's a lie. That's a lie. Anyway, I love y'all.
I gave you the benefit of the doubt this morning, ma'am. And what time you came on a damn hour late?
5:30.
It wasn't my fault though. It wasn't my fault. It wasn't my fault.
It ain't never your fault.
It's not ever. Sometimes it's my fault, like when I go to sleep. But other than that, it's not my fault. Now, I'll see y'all in about an hour. Y'all be safe, be blessed, never stressed, okay? Y'all be good. And please continue to pray. All right. And on this channel, until tomorrow, y'all have a blessed, beautiful evening. Okay. With that being said, thank you, Trey. Thank you, The Truth. Thank you, chat. Okay. True Sippers and State Gang stand up. And we out. I love y'all. Y'all be good.